The seals have been broken, and the devils are here. And they're unmuted. Welcome to the premiere episode of Ashen Tides, our cult Divinity Lost actual play series, sponsored by the very, very good folks over at Helmcast. They wrote a little game, and we're going to play that little game right here tonight. I feel I should say up front, this is kind of a little bit of a departure from my usual shtick of like teenagers punching each other and cracking wise. This one's going to be kind of a spooky, scary one. It's going to touch on a little bit of delicate subject matter. You know, we always try to play with heartfulness and consent, but somewhere around me there is a restricted symbol that says like, hey, this is for 18 plus folks. So yeah, if you're worried you might be sensitive to that kind of stuff, go ahead and tune out now. No judging, no worries. But for now, if you're along for this ride, welcome to Ashen Tides. Before we get started real quick though, we've got a couple of shout outs and some very big announcements. So I think that's going to just about do it for the intro. I have talked long enough. It's time to get these three talking. So let's get into it with our very first episode of Ashen Tides, entitled Devonsport. The Pacific Northwest is an area renowned for its beauty, but of all its many jewels, Devonsport shines the brightest. Conveniently located near Seattle, our beautiful city has all the convenience of a major metropolitan hub while still maintaining all the peaceful charms of a seaside resort. Devonsport is a city with attractions for ages 9 to 99, be it hiking in the enchanting woods surrounding the town, enjoying some shopping at our modern downtown shopping center, or simply resting your head at the scenic Great Northern Inn. Devonsport has it all. The newly built Devonsport Aquarium is of particular note, with thousands of species of exotic fish from all over the world, including our resident great white shark Agamemnon. It truly represents everything that our fair city has to offer. Don't miss it! An excerpt from the tourism brochure, Devonsport, your gateway to paradise. We have a breaking news update on the shooting that occurred early this morning at the Devonsport Aquarium. The suspect has been identified as local high school student Patrick Wilson, age 18. Witnesses on the scene report that Wilson has been killed as the result of an officer-involved shooting. Early reports indicate that as many as 20 people have been killed or injured in the rampage. Police released a statement reassuring the public that there is no further threat, but they are asking that local residents please avoid the area while they continue their investigation. As yet, we do not know what could have driven Wilson to these terrible actions. A neighbor of Patrick Wilson's, one Douglas Crosby, reported seeing Wilson early that morning, but that he, quote, was such a nice young man who didn't seem to be up to anything bad. Police Chief Dwayne McLean has declined to comment as of this time. Our thoughts and prayers are with the victims of this tragedy. Channel 6 News Brief, dated October 23rd, 2014. We fade up on the ocean waves, blue crashing and, well, not so much blue. You get out farther enough from the ocean, and when you're up in the Pacific Northwest, the gray is overcast, is a generous term for how gray the skies tend to get up there. And it's not so much blue as it is sort of this black silver color, undulating in front of us. As the camera kind of pushes along these waves, we see the rocky, craggy outcroppings of the Pacific coast, in the glorious and wonderfully pine tree state of Washington. As the camera pushes past the beaches, dotted like a chocolate chip cookie with like these big rocks that kind of jut out of the ground. These aren't golden beaches. They're not sandy in that way. It's a very rocky kind of area, and up these not smooth but relatively flat, jagged cliff faces. We go up and we see a small town. It's only a handful of hundreds of square miles big, surrounded by lush, dense pine forests. Um, the thing that definitely stands out is the northern edge of this town. We see these collections of upscale homes and McMansions. The closer you get into the center of town, the more you start seeing not skyscrapers, but these shockingly and upsettingly modern uh, steel and concrete and glass buildings that stand very in sharp contrast to a lot of the homes along the southern edge of the town, which are much older, definitely dating back to the 60s, the 70s, some further still. A big river kind of cuts through the middle of this town. It terminates in a small island in the bay. And as we kind of fly over all of this, we push into the downtown area of of the city of Devonsport, where we find the exterior of a modest but relatively modern hospital. It's not especially big, maybe 4 or 5 stories tall. Its parking lot sparse and green, and a sign out front reads Devonsport General Hospital. Through a window, we see a woman hunched and crying, being gently comforted by the presence of another person. They are covered in oh dear, what is the word? Scrubs is what those are called. In the sort of like standard, yes, medical scrubs, with a look of concern on their face, but also the patience that comes with knowing what it's like to explain to someone for the, gosh, 100th, 1000th time that someone they loved is gone. Someone that was put into their care and had to go under their knife. We see Dr. Alex Singer. And Conry, why don't you go ahead and describe for us what Dr. Singer would look like right after they've come out of a surgery that just didn't go the way that everyone had hoped?
Dr. Singer is not exceptionally imposing. They stand maybe 5'7.5", 5'8", a light frame, something to the tune of maybe 170, 175 pounds, absolute tops. The scrubs kind of hang off them, the way a dressed up skeleton might look. Their surgical mask is hung down around their neck as they take the time to inform yet another devastated family member of the loss that they're going to have to mourn and endure. They have short, almost to the scalp short, buzzed short hair, a very light beard. Their posture seems a little bit more hunched, whether that's a natural thing or because they're specifically trying to move themselves in the direction of that grieving family member. It's not 100% obvious, but they feel natural in that position. And the other thing you really notice is there's it's you don't know if it's eyeshadow or a complete lack of sleep.
Mm.
Giving a general
Yes,
weariness.
absolutely. The the woman that they're comforting kind of takes a moment. She's cried herself out a little bit. She's middle aged, um, somewhere in her early 50s, maybe. Um, Very conservatively dressed. Her face showing not just the lines of age, but also the lines of grief. Uh, as she sort of pulls herself away, and we we always knew that his heart, he always had trouble, and that this would come. I'm sure you did everything. I'm sure you did everything you could.
We we did everything we could. The sometimes when you're dealing with open heart surgeries, the anesthetic can have an effect that you're not anticipating, and we did all the tests we could, and it just seems like the valve, I couldn't get it in before I could restart the heart. I'm so
As
sorry.
Harry Harry knew the risks, and he was always he always wanted to go for it. So it's even though the surgery was a long shot, he's with God now. So oh,
I'll
um
put you in touch with one of the nurses here. They're going to walk you through the next steps of what we have to do. I have to go and see to some of the paperwork and things to make sure that he gets taken care of with the most
of
respect
course.
possible.
Thank 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 you, doctor. I and she just breaks back into heaving sobs again. As she does, you notice behind her the very familiar silhouette of checks notes for character name. That's not the right character. There we go. You note the familiar silhouette of a nurse that you've become quite fond of around here. One Bethany Curtis comes around the corner. She's a woman short of stature and somewhat wide of girth, not like morbidly obese, but she's a dense woman who has works very hard around here, and that shows in the sureness with which she moves and the comfort with which she has in this place. Her hair is pulled back into a very loose ponytail that's relatively short. It only graces just the very tips of her shoulder blades. It's kind of this mottled brown, or not mottled, but this like somewhat tangled. Like she hasn't had a chance to brush it yet today because she's at the end of God knows how long of a shift. Um, and she's just kind of holding a clipboard to her chest as she makes her way over to the two of you, putting one hand on the grieving woman's shoulder, as she turns to you and says, uh, "Dr. Singer, when you have a moment, there's something we need to discuss." And
They give one last squeeze to the shoulders and says, "If you want, I can also send the chaplain over if you want."
she just nods, unable to speak.
Okay. You stay right here. Somebody will be over in two shakes.
I think I'd like to be alone for right now. Yes, please. And she walks over to the window by the vending machines and the ugly green like plastic chairs that for some reason hospitals have.
Alex stands up to somewhere near their full height, not their full height, because standing over a surgery table, back's starting to hurt, so there's a little bit of a shrimping action going on. Uh, hey, uh, what's going on?
Hey, you lose another one, huh? Are you okay?
Yeah, uh, it's. I don't like that it gets easier, but they send me the tough ones, so
Well,
it's
they
kind of.
only do it because they know you're the best damn surgeon we've got in this place. She offers a kind of a half-hearted smile and tries to do like the shove of the shoulder, like, eh?
Yeah, that would sound great on a soap opera or something. I guess I don't know.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Listen, um, I know you've been in surgery for like, God, 4 hours, but a message came in while you were in there, and we told them that we couldn't interrupt you. Obviously, it's very delicate, and it would have to keep. But you've got a call from the mayor's office. Yeah, it's the face I made too. I was real confused, but that's what the lady at the front, or the receptionist at the front desk said. So
Okay. Um. Yeah. I'll. Yeah. I'm all wrapped up here. Uh, get Father Francis down here if you could.
sure.
There.
If you just head over to the nurse's station, they can get you the message and everything over there. I'll go talk to Father Francis. And hey, sorry.
Thanks, Beth.
And she steps away.
And Alex makes the way over to the nurse's station.
Yeah, and as the one of the nurses over there sees you coming over, she's got her head like she's holding one phone and another phone is cradled up into the pit of her shoulder, and she just like holds a finger up to you, and yeah, and it's like, yeah, well, okay, is it like a big rash, or and she reaches over and rips off a piece of paper, or is it like multiple rashes? And starts scribbling something down. No, green's not normal. And she writes and slides the piece of paper across to you, and it's just a phone number. It says like mayor's office ASAP and a phone number. She just kind of waves the pen at you and goes back to her calls.
So Alex takes a couple of steps, pulls out the phone, taps in the number.
And as soon as Alex hits dial, we hear a alarm going off. Romney, what kind of alarm do you set? Presumably on your phone because you're traveling. Is this? Do you have like a ringtone? Does the radio come on, or is he the kind of guy that it's just a good old classic?
Uh, Romney switches between two different alarms, so it depends on what the purpose is. Normally, it is the classic noise that he's downloaded onto his phone specifically for that purpose. But the other is an affirmation that he purchased through one of the celebrity, greetings sites. That is Dwayne the Rock Johnson telling him, "You've got this. You're a go-getter. People like you." And that's typically how he wakes up in the morning.
So, as soon as they hit the button on that, it cuts to black, and we just hear Dwayne the Rock Johnson deliver. I don't have a Dwayne the Rock Johnson voice. Can you smell? Can you smell? No, I don't have it.
Can you smell what the
You
Rom is
got
cooking? Is definitely
you,
something that's on there.
it's that's when it comes up. It's you got this. You're a go getter. Can you smell what the Rom is cooking? As uh, the lights come up and are on in a hotel room at the Great Northern Inn. It is faux delightfully rustic. Here, your the bed is nice enough. It sits on a imitation of like a wooden frame, essentially. Like this thing looks like it was carved out of wood, but you know better. And the walls have this green wallpaper on them. It's supposed to kind of make it look like grandma's house, but with what you're paying for this place. That's sort of part of the appeal and the charm of it. Your window looks out onto a small balcony that itself looks out over the cliffside edge of the Pacific Ocean. You can hear the brushing of waves coming in through the window were you to go outside. It smells here like the sea and pine and way too many cleaning products that were used to clean up this room before you came into it. Um, there's a small television, there's a small trash can, there's a small bar full of small drinks with a small little notepad and a small phone with a small book near a small lamp. It is a life, it's a small life that you've gotten very accustomed to living. And your alarm goes off and wakes you up, which normally wouldn't be that big of a deal, except Jesus fucking Christ if you got a headache.
Uh, uh, uh,
What do you do?
Romney is about my height and dimensions, although his hair is more tightly shaved, more recently barbered. All the edges are very straight. And he takes a look at his phone, double checks a few stocks. Well, first stocks and then his various cryptocurrency markets, which he has fairly heavily invested in.
True horror.
He is wearing some fairly expensive black silk pajamas with gold buttons, and sits straight upright in bed, looks around and grabs a bottle of designer water off the nightstand, takes a few sips, searches around, finds a fizzy tablet and sports drink, and just kind of like mooshes them all together in one hotel glass, and then just sits there staring at the room, looking at the window and the crummy weather outside, while sipping on the lightly fizzing drink in his hand.
As he looks out at the beautiful Washington morning, that's as glorious as they get up there, you begin to bring the glass to your lips, and like as you do, your phone still in hand, it buzzes, and the little notification drop down comes in. You got a text from I'll hesitate to say your friend Chip, your coworker Chip, that guy here that you're traveling with, Chip.
My indentured servant, Chip.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, I pay him, but he is an intern.
It drops down and goes, "Hey," and there's another one. "You up?" Another one. "Continental's really good." And then another one that's just a picture of those square like waffles.
Yeah.
Drenched, absolutely drenched in maple syrup. And then another one that says, "They got waffles."
I send him a text back. Live your best life, Chip. I'll be down in a moment. And then I...
Buzz. Okay. Buzz. Make sure you get here before the waffles run out. Buzz. They're really good.
I set my ringer off and go about getting ready for the day. My facial cleansing routine takes about 30 minutes, but today is a light day, so I cut it down to 15. I make sure that I first am entirely demoisturized and scrubbed, using a variety of expensive products, and then completely remoisturized once I'm done and ready to get dressed. I'm wearing designer clothing, but all of which, jeans, shirt, vest, everything has been taken to a tailor and taken in or let out where it needs to be. So though they are Levi's, they are custom fitted Levi's.
Wow. So attired, we leave your room to sort of cut down to the wow, I wanted to say cafeteria, but that's not what hotels have. To the dining area, which again is like the rest of the Great Northern. It's a very faux rustic sort of look. They've got animal heads mounted over a fireplace that is constantly kept burning. It's an enormous hearth. As we're getting into fall a bit, they've decorated it a little bit with little wreaths and like fall leaves and fall what's the word I'm looking for? Foliage to kind of give it a bit of that atmosphere. There's a gourd nearby. The tables again are these sort of faux antique wooden tables. They've got these very nice like gingham style what are they called? Tablecloths. Very good at words today. And there are people kind of milling about, moving around. A number of what, do we still call them yuppies these days? Because in my head they would be yuppies, but I guess we don't have those anymore.
That's a millennial term if I ever heard one.
Yeah, it's we have a lot of upwardly mobile millennials, people my age, I suppose, and older, traveling here in
Up-me's.
Nope.
Up.
I'd like to X that.
I second motion carries. But a number of professional travelers and the occasional family, well-to-do, moving about this place. And as you see at the far end, an arm comes waving up. Attached as ever to one Douglas Winterthorpe, aka Chip, as you know him.
Chip come from?
To be clear, I call him Chip. No one else does. But yeah, hi, Chip. Chill. It's fine. Hang on.
Yeah.
I see you. Hang on.
He one fork through them. Have you seen these? He's just lifting up the waffles again, just drizzled in maple syrup.
Yeah. No, that looks fantastic. A lot of carbs, but good. I'll be right over there. Yeah. Yep. Hang on. And I take a quick walk through the continental breakfast line, and I settle on one yogurt, one banana, and a bottle of water.
There remains a yogurt, and there are 2 bananas left, one of which clearly overripe and the other clearly under. But the water is in grand supply.
I'll go with the underripe one, as underripened bananas have been proven to help curb hunger pangs, and satiation is key when you're trying to, keep the puffiness away.
I have no idea what any of that means. Okay. You arrive at the table with your, we'll call it breakfast in tow. And as you sit down, Chip, man, you don't know what you're missing out. These things are incredible. Have you had, he pushes over one of the tiny single-serve containers of maple syrup. Like, you gotta try this stuff. It's incredible. You can only get it up here. I've never had any of this stuff in Seattle. It's incredible. As he's gorging himself on waffles.
Chip, if I try a little bit of that syrup, will you tell me what we've got on the docket for the day without talking any more about waffles?
Fair enough.
I take my banana and just like daintily dip the tip in the syrup, pull it back, and
Jesus
try.
Christ, that is actually really good maple syrup. Chip's not wrong. It's kind of stunningly like just this wonderfully honeyed, sweet, very smooth. It's like it's got a bite to it, but not super intense kind of syrup. It's actually really good. See?
Yeah, I guess it's all right.
All right. So, listen, I've been meaning to talk to you a little bit, because I was kind of worried. I know we're here and we're doing the consulting thing for our consulting firm to consult for Inzeo construction and everything about their redundancies. Jesus, so fucking good. But like, so, all right, I know it's probably not my place to like question your methods or whatever you've got going on over there, but I was just thinking that we you're kind of suggesting that we shit can a lot of people on very short notice, and I mean that's cool, it's fair, that's what they hired you to do. But I was just thinking like maybe the report that we give in Zeo could soften a bit.
Well, taking a look at the projections that they gave us, a 60% reduction in the workforce over the course of the next 60 days seems to be about right. Now, we can try to save a few, I suppose, but the money that they're going to be saving by automating most of these, let's face it, outdated forms of labor is going to be immensely helpful to their bottom line.
True, all true. But I'm just kind of thinking about the people. You know, like maybe we could offer like an early retirement incentive for some of them, or you know, maybe lay people off gradually. A work placement program or something. You know, like hey, maybe we could help them find a little help elsewhere, or in Seattle maybe, or in town.
Isn't that what they all pay taxes for? The county's got a work placement program and food stamps available. I mean, look, if these people really wanted to, you know, have themselves some kind of security for the future, they should have considered that when they got into these outmoded industries in the first place. I mean, let's be honest. Is it really all that tough to push a button or walk 20 feet and hand a thing off to some other person? I mean, come on, get with the times.
Sure. No, it's just that there really isn't any kind of work placement assistance here in Devonsport. But you do make a good point, I suppose. It's just something to think about, something I'm putting on the table, something we could maybe and as Chip is kind of stumbling over himself, from behind you comes a very short, sharp Douglas. And then he, looking down at you, you see the sharp brown eyes and very professional, very smooth, pulled back into a braid hair, the lightish tanned skin. It's almost got like a coppery tone to it. Look of and the thin-lipped, kind of very professional, very put together looking woman. One Claire Redmond, your personal assistant, stands before you. She's doing the blazer, the pencil skirt thing. She's holding a phone in her hand. It's currently pressed up against her shoulder. Douglas, talk when we tell you to talk.
Thank you,
Romney?
Claire. Yes.
You've got a phone call?
Check my my cell phone. It's before my usual interfacing time.
Yeah, I don't
okay.
know. It's.
That's fine.
I know we're supposed to be talking. It's not that Bob Delvicio guy we're supposed to be talking to. It says they're here on behalf of the mayor, but that it relates to Inzeo somehow.
All right. Okay.
She hands down the phone.
Hello.
And as you say hello, and poor Connery has a conniption. You wanted a horror game. We delivered. We cut over to... Oh, now as... a cackling witch. We cut over to another part of town. It's a small 2-story, not really a cabin as such, but it's a house built like it's stuck in the middle of a crowded city downtown area, but it's perhaps listed on Airbnb as being delightfully minimalist and having a lot of small town charm. This little 2-story stacked cottage thing, again near the water. Though this time not sitting quite so scenically on a overshot. It's overlooking of a cliff rather, but with a beautiful view of nearby Seagull Island and just a bit of the touch of the woods. And we push in through the window of this place to see a man lazing about in bed as an arm kind of reaches up and he kind of reaches over and pats a clear indentation in a second pillow sitting next to him. But finding nothing, his eyes groggily open. And, hey, Sinner, what do you look like?
Sinner looks like if you took every single, like, dark gothic folk singer and just whoop them together. He's about 5'9", kind of on the lanky side for that, despite not being super tall. But has for example, like a beard that is, in a permanently somewhat tailored 5 o'clock shadow. Like, it looks like it just kind of grew in that way, but he shaves it down that way. And sort of kind of very light stubble kind of coming down the cheeks to like a very a longer Van Dyke kind of up front. He is currently not wearing jack, but is kind of lounging in bed with all of the grace of a, I want to say, particularly elegant hyena is the way I'm going to phrase that. There's an element. There's an element of class and an element of sort of grace there, but it all feels a little weird. Like, it doesn't make sense coming off this person who very clearly has a very tailored look about them, but doesn't seem to express that more than just, more than above the eyes. And sure. Other than that, there's a set of sort of scars kind of in sort of directly off to the left of their sternum that you can sort of clearly see in the sunlight. But other than that, just hair sort of artfully cut a little longer on one side to drape down over the forehead, like I would say a K-pop person, and is definitely also has, like Singer, this is going to get confusing, folks, has some bags under the eyes, but it is 1,000% because he's not really been sleeping at night.
And as Rom says his little hello into the phone, we're greeted on the soundtrack equally as the radio in Sinner's room picks up with the vocals of a Pink Floyd song just going, hello, 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 is there any... But just starts, kind of drifts in alongside. The room filling with the tunes of Comfortably Numb as Sinner
and his
wakes
hands
up and realizes...
like balloons. So, I'm sorry.
Shut up, your head hurts. Actually, your head's fine by now, but in any event, the as you're reaching over, expecting to find your companion with you, you find only an empty bed, still somewhat warm. Clearly, she was here recently, but has since departed. Standing up, you notice that on the pillow has left a small folded note that just says Carlos on it. I believe is your first name. Yes, I think. Shit.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Yes. Haha. I'm correct. What do you do?
Sinner sort of scratches his eyes, kind of that, like, just waking up. Upon noticing the note, snatches it off the pillow, sort of tucks it into the waistband of boxers, and then, not bothering to put fuck all on, trudges across the house to the kitchen to go make something greasy. And we'll look at it after presumably settling down with a plate of something like eggs and bacon.
Unfortunately, as you get to the kitchen, you find that despite this being advertised on Airbnb, while there's decidedly one bee, the other bee is markedly missing. Um, you open up the refrigerator to some beer, a tipped over bottle of tequila that has since started dripping onto the like the bottom little freezer pan, and little else.
Sinner reaches for the beer, stops, looks at the rest of the fridge, grabs the tequila, and walks across the room with it.
Uh, as you flip open the note, inside in very delicate script, we see the following message: Had to leave early, and you've got a busy day ahead of you. There's a kiss, like somebody had kissed it with bright red lipstick, just below that. And then there's a time and an address. The time still being a little over an hour and change from here, and the address being a quick Google search away from knowing that it's just on the outskirts of downtown.
Okay. Given the amount of time to do that, then, and assuming that said sleepy lie of a town has, like, Uber or something, Sinner will schedule an Uber to get him there about 5 minutes early, goes back into the bedroom on the bedside table, starts picking up, like, discarded rings and necklaces that have sort of been thrown onto the little night table, and then slowly, as if he couldn't be bothered, pulls clothes on artlessly in a way that somehow manages to look like he's intending to do so.
Certainly. It's quiet. It goes without incident. A few minutes later, you get the little notification that your driver is here. And it's a face that seems vaguely familiar, but you don't immediately place it. Not until you get out and get into the car. And the driver up front starts to say, "Hey, good morning." And he reaches up and he kind of twists the rear view mirror in the central dash and says, "Holy shit, Carlos, is that you?" And the man turns around and he's about your age. He's a Hispanic gentleman. His hair is cut fairly short. He's got a nice square jaw. Um, his nose just a little bit crooked, perhaps having set wrong after a fight who knows how many years ago at this point. It's the face of your old friend, Rodrigo. Someone you know from the town from many, many years ago. He just turns back and looks at you and says, "Holy shit, Carlos?"
Yeah. It's I thought you got that fixed a while ago.
He's kind of self-consciously kind of fiddles at his nose for a second. No, it's just my nose. Where the hell, man? How long have you been in town?
Like a week, maybe. Vacation, you know.
You've been in town a week. You didn't call me.
I haven't called anybody.
Okay, cool. No, it's cool. Like we only go back. How many years has it been? As he starts up the car and pulls it out onto the road.
I had a booked day. Me and my partner were up here. I was intending to get around to visit folks, and bonus points if you know a place where I can get really greasy breakfast food. I will
Yeah,
give
yeah.
you the entire Uber fee doubled to get
Oh,
me
glad
there
you're.
on the way.
All right, glad you're feeling generous. Nice that you're feeling generous now that I'm your Uber driver. But when I'm your friend, you're not feeling this generous.
No, you're
Come on,
just a
man.
you're an Uber driver who happens to be my friend. I wouldn't do this for any other Uber driver.
Whatever. I'll take you over to Norma's, and you can explain to me why you've been
Ouch.
such a piece of shit all this time.
Good.
All right.
So, what's the deal? You're out here with you got some cute friend that that you've been fucking up there, or what?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And like, Carlos kind of like reaches in, thumbs through their phone for a bit, kind of pulls up a picture and puts it next to his head in the car.
It's just kind of like looks over. It's like, I can't, but he whistles like woof. This is the wolf whistle. There you go. That. Yeah. Okay. Now I see why you didn't call me for a week. So, like, what's the fucking deal? Like, you're doing the music thing or something? You got a show here in town or what?
Nah, I'm just off a tour actually, just coming back for a week to not be around people, you know. Hence the not calling people. I was like working back up to it.
Oh man, I hear that. Jesus, you look like death warmed over, so you could probably use the break. Still, we'll get some greasy food into you. We'll get to the hotel. What are you going to a hotel for?
Is that where I'm going? And Cinder like looks back at the note again and Googles it again and like, no, oh yeah,
Yeah,
hotel. No, you're right. Yep.
It's an address for a hotel downtown.
Oh,
It's
yep,
specifically, it's
hotel.
also got a suite number for a conference room.
Oh. I'm not sure, but given where I am and who I'm here with, it's either business or fucking. So I'll 50-50 shot either way.
Hey man, as long as you don't get me fucking busted or anything, I'm not doing any fucking weird shit in my car. All right, I'm still trying to.
No, that's presumably what the hotel was for. Like, I mean, I know we go back a while, but not that way. So don't worry about it.
Sinner man, you're still fucking crazy.
Yeah, well,
As the car kind of like pulls into a little diner area, and we the camera kind of comes out and shows us that, and we cut over to the front of the Grand Hotel downtown, and the Uber pulls up. He lets Sinner out of the car, and Rodrigo just kind of like leans out and says, "Listen, like I don't know, it's weird to just kind of see you walking around back from the dead or whatever. Like you've been gone for whoever knows how long. But if you want to like hang out or something, man, like you don't gotta be shy about it. Like
look, I gotta catch up with a couple people, and I probably should check in with Lily at some point. So that's an awkward conversation. So how about you come with me, and I'll pay for your drinks.
he kind of like slaps the door of his car. It's like, if you're paying, man, then all right, I'll go wherever the fuck you want.
Cool.
Peace,
Let
man.
me know when you're
He
off
rolls
work.
out the window
Sinner just
and
tosses,
drives away.
Sinner tosses him
you
like
were-
a wave over the shoulder, and then just kind of turns around and goes into the hotel.
Yes.
What does Sinner rate him?
Sinner rates him a 5 with a comment of worst driver ever, XOXO, parentheses.
Of course. Of course. Senator, as you enter into the lobby, it's a nice hotel. You know, it's got that wonderfully industrial hotel-like carpeting. There's pillars, there's glass, there's a front desk, and there's a little sign on a wall telling you to head off to the right to where the conference rooms are. And according to your note, conference room B is where you're going to meet up. And as you do, you catch the back of well, Alex, would you still be wearing your scrubs at this point?
Yes.
This is
but
only
there's
a little bit later that same day.
But now there's that stereotypical Pacific Northwest flannel jacket thrown on over it.
The uniform of my people.
Mhm.
Yes, it's very good.
I am now the lumberdock.
You catch a beflanneled, scrubbed individual
Flanneled.
moving into pushing through the big double doors of this conference room. What do you do?
So it's business. And Sinner, who, after turning away from Rodrigo peeled off, just the whole friendly facade just drops like a shit ton of bricks, and just absolutely nothing. Walks into the hotel, sees a beflanneled meander into the conference room, and just goes, "All right, business, I guess," and then takes a detour into the restaurant lounge area of the hotel, if there is one, to see if he can scrounge up some eggs to bring in before he does.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They are just wrapping up a continental breakfast of their own.
Yeah, just grabs a bagel and whatever leftover cream cheese and etc. is on there.
There's half a bagel left.
Yeah, grabs half a bagel and one sad stick of butter and one lopsided cream cheese in the container, picks those two up, walks in.
Alex, well, actually, I guess I should say, Romney, into the room you're sitting in walks a doctor in flannel, followed very shortly by some kind of a hippie dirtbag holding half a bagel.
Hippie dirtbag.
And a little bit of butter.
That sounds right.
You've been in here for a minute or two, and you were the first one to arrive, as first Alex and then Sinner enter the room. There's nobody here but you guys.
Do I recall the thing that I think I might recall?
You had a curious dream last night, Romney. And while it's not sharp in your mind, almost as if it's been a week since the events, but it lingers. Images linger. A bus, a crash in the forest, a desperate run through the woods, a burning building full of shades.
Flashlight? Shotgun?
The occasional flashlight, at least one shotgun, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And actually, it occurs to me right before I kick off into the scene and let you guys go be your characters, there is something we should do at the top of this session. So, a couple of you, as I'm getting my notes out, where are your notes, Fox? Oh, you didn't. Where's your notes? Where's your notes? Tell me, where'd you put them? There they are. A couple of you have some disadvantages that have to roll at the start of a first session, and anytime they hit certain triggers. I believe Sinner's got 2 of them, and Rom has 2 of them. So, I would like to go over those moves very briefly and start rolling some dice. But I guess before I do any dice rolling there, I should probably explain what the deal. I'm not sure where it is over my head. Is it here? is our little dice thing, I think. Am I pointing the right way? Other way?
To your that way.
All right.
If you're looking for Hope Dread, there it is.
Yeah. So
That's it.
there's a little Hope Dread counter over here that you may note. So normally here at Devonsport Gaming, we like to allow people to cheer bits, and that then transmogrifies through the digital etherscape into ways to either help or hinder our wonderful players up there. In Ashen Tides, I'm doing something slightly differently. So you still can donate 500 bits and put 1 point into their hope pool. And they can spend those points to buy partial and full successes on dice rolls. 1 point buys them an automatic partial success. 3 points buys them an automatic full success. But if they choose to do it after the roll, well, then there's a 1 point tax for doing it after the roll. So it becomes 2 points for a partial success after the roll and 4 points for a full success after the roll. Once those points are spent, they shift from up here to down here. And then I get them. And I get to spend them to do nasty shit.
So you don't need to give them directly to Fox. Fox doesn't need the help.
Nah. You can only give hope to these poor lost souls, which I will then transmogrify into dread. Because you never get a free lunch around here. You only borrow trouble in Devonsport. So, and that's how the points work. So, real quick, Sinner, let's start with you. So I'm gonna need you to roll. Let's start by rolling. One of your disadvantages is called Nemesis.
Sure, sounds great.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
So I
Why
want you to
not?
go ahead and roll. So the way the dice rolls work in Cult Divinity Lost, which is a Powered by the Apocalypse game, is that unlike most Powered by the Apocalypse games, we roll 2d6. In this game, you roll 2d10. And you're trying to get a 10 or higher to get some measure of success. Anything that's 9 or lower is a failure, and it's bad. And I get to do things, and you don't want me to do things, generally speaking.
Hey, so guess who was rolling 2d6 all through our session 0 because he forgot about that?
Oh, fuck. Oh, no.
That explains so many things.
So
Yup.
much.
I get it
Oh,
now.
honey.
All right. Well, all right. That makes a lot more sense. Okay, cool. 10, you said. All right.
Yeah, it's 2d10.
Got
2d10.
him. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes. Yep. All right. That explains a lot.
So go ahead
Let's
and
do
roll for Nemesis. Then
Well, that's,
I will
much
mark
better. Okay. 15 on the dot.
15. Okay, wow. On a 15 plus, you are safe from your Nemesis for the moment. Okay, so I get no hold for that. That's fine. But you have a second one called Object of
do.
Desire, which you're also going to have to roll
Yep.
for.
Cool. 4. Have fun.
Now we're talking. Okay.
There it is. Yep. There it is.
So, on a complete failure, the GM takes 3 hold. The GM can spend that hold to ignite a person's desires, influencing their behavior. For example, you can have someone afflicted with an uncontrollable passion for you, attempt to force themselves on you. We'll talk about that. Strongly proposition you, become intensely jealous of you, or harm themselves or someone else because of their desire for you. You are a desirable person, and I can spend this hold to make that happen. Hooray! I'm going to complicate your life with that. That's fun for me. All right, Romney, you have a similar situation, my friend.
I don't know what you're talking
Because-
about. I'm perfect and everything's
Yeah.
fine.
About that, so you're perfectly marked, and I'm going to need you to go ahead and roll. This is just a straight roll. You don't add or subtract any modifiers, which normally is how that works. For the folks at home, you add or subtract whatever relevant stat goes into it. For these disadvantages, you just roll.
I got a 15 on that one.
Fucking A.
Even 10 and a 5.
All right, much like our good friend Sinner.
Hey, that's what I
I'll just read off the result for that. You are still in control,
Good.
but you have a second one in which it's called Haunted,
Mhm.
and I'm going to need you to roll for that as well. Doc, I don't know who you got yourself involved with, but they're good folks.
I made a complete innocent, and I got these two chuckle fucks with me now.
I
10.
did
I
it.
just heard Sheldon giggle.
I got a 10.
10. Okay. Excellent. On a 10 to 14, the GM takes 1 hold. Excellent. The GM can spend hold to make a move for a thing. You know what? We'll leave it at that. I won't read the rest of this move just yet.
Clowns to the left,
All
to
right,
me. Jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you.
Alex, you wisely
That's
took
and
2
you are a surgeon.
disadvantages. That's true. Alex wisely took 2 disadvantages that do not generate hold for me, but instead become wonderfully delightful. Oh yes. Oh, very good. Things for later. So yeah. In walks the good doctor. Romney, Doc, what do you do? Oh, I should describe the room for you. I'm so sorry. It's well, it's not so much a conference room as it is like an empty convention hall. Very small one, mind you. It's a sort of like when you go to a convention and they're like, we're having this a panel discussion room, like one of those kinds of things, where there's a whole bunch of those like stackable convention chairs stacked up against the wall. And there's obviously like drops for like power and stuff like that on one side of the room. And there's a big divider that could then open it up into like room A, where you guys are in room B if they wanted to double size it. But there is just basically a folding table with 1 chair on one side, 3 chairs on the other, and a whole bunch of chairs stacked up against the wall in here. It's like if claustrophobia could be an open space. Like that's what it feels like in here. It's weird.
So
Now what do you do?
you said that Romney got there first, yeah?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So I would have set up a small forest of Apple products. So I have my laptop open for responding to emails, but then I also have my iPad connected to an external speaker, and is playing a calming ambient music and audio-visual display, as well as I have a small USB-powered diffuser that I've poured like a quarter of a water bottle into with several drops of grapefruit essential oil, so as to help awaken and effervesce. And I'm otherwise responding to emails. I also don't use the hotel Wi-Fi. I have my own encrypted hotspot. So, yeah.
This is the scene you walk in on, Dr. Alex Singer.
Alex, with the largest Tully's coffee they could get their hands on, just kind of look around. I don't need table space, I guess. Walks over. Takes one of the chairs that's next. Which seat did Rom take up?
Good question.
Oh,
Of
right.
the
I
3.
apologize. You said that the chairs were set up in exactly what formation again?
There's 3 on one side and 1 on the other of this like folding table.
Oh, I definitely took the one on the other.
That makes it easy.
Okay.
Alex just kind of... Nah. Just walk over, sit down at the opposite side on the far left chair, puts down coffee on table, and kind of looks up at the clock to see what time it is for... It's they've always got one of those like budget schoolroom clocks up in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
So
it is, if not for the ambient tones coming out of someone's laptop, it would be the ticking of it. counting down your seconds wasted on this spinning ball of dirt would be the only thing you could hear in this room. But lucky for you, Pure Moods is playing,
Oh
and
boy.
it's just a delight. Um, the phone call the two of you received, as I mentioned earlier, was from the mayor's office. An older woman, on the other end of the line, saying that they have, uh, at the request of one Jessica and Zao, have a bit of a special assignment that they would like to discuss with you. Uh, this is a name that's very familiar to the two of you, Romney, because she's the president and owner of Inzeo Construction, the company that you're here to consult with, and for Dr. Singer, it's Jessica's money goes a long way in this town. And indeed, she in particular is very specifically responsible for you getting a job at the hospital here in town. She pulled a few strings after your last, I almost said last gig. That's not what they called it for doctors.
Yeah.
After your last residency. And got you here. And for the most part, she just occasionally sends very specific patients your way. But otherwise, she hasn't really like talked to you or called in a favor before until now.
And that's who we're meeting up. That's who Alex is supposed to be meeting up with.
No, you're actually going to be meeting up with someone from the mayor's office.
Okay.
Is what the lady on the other side of the phone said.
So when Alex sits down, looks across, trying to find the screen that Rom is looking at the moment, and try to interpose behind that screen of like, so are we waiting for somebody else, or we starting? You're with the mayors, right?
No.
Oh. Well, okay then. All right. You're looking at all the products in real estate?
I'm sorry?
Though you seem to be taking so much of it up. I just thought you might be in real estate.
Oh, huh. That's pretty funny. No. This is just my travel kit.
Oh.
Yep. Just
traveling light.
Yeah.
It's rough out there. What are you traveling with? Hi, I'm I'm Dr. Alex Singer. I'm a resident in at Devonsport General.
Oh, sorry. I apologize. Forgive me, bro. I'm Romney Reagan Callahan. My friends call me Rom. You can call me RR. I'm here to, make everything lean, nimble, sped up, more efficient. I'm all high speed, low drag business consultant for, Inzio is who I'm contracted to right now. So, yeah.
I've met drug reps like you. Okay.
And as you say that, Sinner walks in the door.
You said
Sinner, this is the scene you come into?
Yep. You said claustrophobia was open space, but I've been in too many conventions, so I heard home. But Sinner comes in with like half a bagel split in half to make two little C's of dough. He's got one kind of dangling out of his mouth, and he's sort of buttering the other one in his hand with a plastic knife as he walks, and kind of looks over, kind of leans down a bit as if to judge the height of the table, and then takes one of the chairs from around the kind of directly opposite Dr. Singer, pulls it around to a slight angle, sits down, pops both his feet up on the table, probably pushing something of Rom's out of the way, and then
Oh yeah, your diffuser like
bounces a little
slides
paper
to the edge of the table.
Yep.
I reach out, catch it, shoot him a glance, but nothing more than that, and I recenter it somewhere out of the way.
Half on the top, and then starts eating the one that's been dangling out of his mouth, which is covered in cream cheese. And then looks at the clock.
It's still a few minutes before the meeting. It's like
Okay.
3 or 4 minutes before the meeting.
Since we've already done some pleasantries, I'm Dr. Alex Singer. I'll let you introduce yourself. I'm a resident here at Devonsport General. You're here to meet with the representative from the mayor's office?
And Sinner looks at you and goes, I don't actually know what I'm here for. Cora left me a note to go here, and so I did. Are you one of hers, then?
No.
I'll take it as a no. You'd know for sure. What about Beats over here?
Beats. Come on, those are too mainstream.
Really, because you've got the Apple products, you're already down the lineup.
I do have the Apple products, but I've got the Sennheiser headphones. They're just in my bag.
Okay, well, I'll give you that.
Anyway, hey, what's up, bro? I'm Romney Reagan Callahan. I feel like I've seen you somewhere, like in a coffee shop.
Probably. I've been in a bunch of coffee shops. Do you live in
No,
here?
like
Okay, not
on a
coffee
product. What's your product, bro? What do you
Product?
move? Yeah.
shop. I don't. What?
What's your
Okay,
line? What's your gig? What do you do?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm a musician.
That's it. Yes. Talking about mainstream, I saw that last release of yours in Starbucks. Cinnamon.
Oh, that's kind of disappointing. I was like
Yeah.
expressly don't sell in a Starbucks.
Well, hey,
picks up
once,
Tully's coffee, holds it a little bit closer to the chest, like.
Once Pitchfork gives your album 9.5 out of 10, you're pretty much, golden from there in terms of sales. But I can understand why it might feel like selling out to you. But I promise you, the money is primo. So.
Oh no, I've figured that out. Yeah, I'm just like maybe I'll do something a little bit more avant-garde next time, just to throw them off.
Sure. Yeah. Avant-garde, disruptive. Either way. That's sounds great. So, what are you? This is okay. So, a doctor, a musician, an all-around fantastic businessman.
Walk into a bar. Okay. Where are you going with this?
I'm trying to figure out why this is the group.
No
As
idea.
soon as he says that, Sinner, that's when you notice the woman standing in the room. In the corner near the door, you shift the feet that you have plopped up,
Yeah, just
you notice there's an older woman. She's wearing like a floral blouse, very modest skirt, a pleated skirt that like hits her ankles. It's like purple flowers. She's got gray curly hair. Her skin more hanging than attached, and her eyes with kind of a distant look in them. She's got a manila folder in both of her hands, kind of folded in front of her, just sort of sitting in one of the chairs, propped up by the door. And she's just kind of sitting over there with this 1,000-yard stare. What do you do?
Hey, are we supposed to be talking to you? Or you to us? I feel like it's you to us, actually.
Her eyes blink a few times, and she looks over at you. And a slow smile crosses her face as she says, "The mayor will be here shortly." And her face falls back to that 1,000-yard stare.
We're actually meeting the mayor?
She doesn't respond.
Great.
Okay.
Can we change this music? Like, it's a little too chill.
Oh, this isn't music. These are hypersomnic tones.
All right, I hate all of that. Can we just make it actual music then? Can I? And Cinder just like reaches over and like grabs the thing and starts fiddling with it.
That's fine.
And then puts it back down, and about like at indecent at 2 a.m. levels of volume, Wicked Games by the Weekend starts playing at full blast.
The woman does not respond.
How?
God, that's better.
Looking over at Rom, how many chiropractors do you have?
Only one chiropractor. I've got 2 acupuncturists, though.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Oh.
Yeah. Gotta up your ginseng game, baby.
Yeah, that totally sounds like something I read in a wellness magazine. Could you turn that down a little bit?
What?
Exactly.
It's pumping! And then just keeps listening.
Romney's actually like bopping his head a little bit too while he's, typing out an email of some kind.
Oh god. Oh god. It's seriously turn the volume down a little bit, please. It's
You can feel it in your teeth, Alex.
Turn it
down. Gotcha. And Cinder like reaches up.
Are you gonna be all right, man? Here, and Romney like reaches into his vest and pulls out a tin of what look like Altoids, but are very much not Altoids, and slides it across the table.
What is the state of this tin that you just pulled out of your shirt?
Well, I've got an inner pocket in here, but it's brightly colored, yellow striped and white tin, and it's Dr. Tom's Tomfoolery mints. And they are THC and the other half. They're weed mints, basically. And he just passes over the tin.
This from across the table, a chipped, dented, scratched, it looks like it's been very road worn and beaten, dropped a few times, definitely dropped in the dirt a few times, tin of semi-narcotics, let's say, is offered to you from across the table by Romney.
Has the music come down a little bit?
Cinder hit it twice down.
No, using the bottom of the coffee cup just slides them back. My parents told me not to take candy from strangers. It's all right, thanks.
All right, that's fine, bro. More for me.
Candy from strangers is the best, though.
I pop 2 and offer the tin to Sinner.
Pop.
The woman is at your table.
Takes 3. Yeet.
Yay.
Nobody saw her move, but she's there at the head of your as the 3 of you were distracted and looking at one another. She is standing inches away from what has now become the head of the table, as the 3 of you have taken up a triangle of positions around this table. Standing there with her little file folder hunched ever so slightly, her 1,000-yard stare.
Okay, so less Miss Kaplan, more the teacher from Invader Zim.
Smash the
I would like a roll. I would like
Okay.
poor Dr. Singer here to roll to keep it together. When you exercise self-control to keep from succumbing to stress, traumatic experiences, psychic influence, or supernatural forces, you roll plus willpower.
Okay.
The game and its mental PvP.
Let's see what we got here. Oh, it's not the worst. An 11.
Oh, an 11. Okay. The effort to resist instills a condition which remains until you have had time to recuperate. You get -1 in situations where this condition would be a hindrance to you. Choose one from the list. So the players at home know what Connery's looking at. Essentially, there is a list of conditions, such as you become guilt-ridden, you become scared, you become angry, sad, and so forth, that they can then choose from, and then those have varying effects on your stability rating, which is this game's, let's call it, much more reasonable version of like a sanity point system. You're just how stable you are emotionally. Or a couple of other little things here.
So are you imposing or am I selecting?
You believe you select. Let me double check here. Yeah, choose one. So you choose.
Okay.
Oh, this I will actually answer out loud so everybody hears it. Apologies if you still have any stress or anything marked from session 0. None of that carries over. 'Cause it was all a dream.
So this is a temporary debuff. This is not actually reducing my stability. If I take a -1 to stability.
No, the ones that say -1 to stability do reduce your stability, and then in addition to that, you get a -1 in situations where this condition would be a hindrance to you until you got a chance to recuperate. Which is why there's one that's like you don't lose any stability, you just take a -2 in situations because you're distracted.
I'm going to let you decide how you want to influence this, or how you want to weaponize this, I should say.
Okay.
I will be haunted by this experience at a later time, because I'm looking at one of my disadvantages.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
The second one.
Okay. Yeah.
Whether it's reminiscent of something that triggers that thought.
Yeah. It's a curious thing, because as she appears at the foot of that table, it's like the music drops away the moment that she slaps down the file folder just onto the table. And the music seems to cut out at that exact moment. And Alex, something about that image in your mind, like you see it and like you're there, but you're somewhere else for a split second. It's still a hotel and a file folder, but it should be thicker. It should be a thicker file folder, and then you're back here, and like the song ends, and the beginning riffs of the next one are trying to start up. And the woman at the head of the table says, "The mayor will be here momentarily."
Yeah, thank you. You mentioned. Thank you. Do you know what this is about?
The mayor wishes to speak with the three of you. And back to her 1,000-yard stare.
Okay.
Hey, hun, what's your name again?
No response.
Okay, somebody needs to reduce their beta blockers. Just putting that out there.
Yeah, they never gave it either, so.
Yeah, the hell is on the phone call? Was there anything? Was it literally just the mayor wants to speak to you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is getting ridiculous. Ma'am? please? Could...
No response.
I need you to turn that music off, please.
What? I can't. Hold on, I can't hear you. And then Cinder turns it down so he can hear Singer.
Turn the fucking music off.
And the moment you say that, the door is open, and in walks Mayor Dapperton. A moment, please. That's his, I did not make up that name. It is in the prep.
That's amazing.
Good, I hate him already. Then.
What was the name again?
Dapperton.
Mayor Dapperton. You would know this because you've been here in town enough. You know the office of apologies. I'm getting his first name as well. Just because the second name is Dapperton. You know what? Let's just Dapperton. Come on, where are we at? Stop saying Mayor Dapperton. Give me his first fucking name.
Do I know them from
Philip
before?
Dapperton. There we go. Philip Dapperton, the mayor of Devonsport.
Do I know them from prior?
Them as in the mayor, or them as in the people at the table?
The mayor.
You would. He makes appearances. He's been the mayor for quite some time. He wasn't the mayor when you were here as a kid, but
yeah.
He's been the mayor for a while now. And if you've made any trips back or been in touch with anybody here, certainly like coming back into town, there was a faded and like peeling sign on the way into town that was like a vote for Dapperton is a vote for your future, with like a big thumbs up like picture of him there. He's not a particularly photogenic man. As he arrives, brief moment as they look to see, do they describe him at all? It looks like they don't. Beautiful. He's in his late 40s. His hair is short and not balding, but like he's got a very high hairline at this point. He keeps it kind of close to the scalp. He's wearing not a cheap gray suit, but it's not exactly Armani as he comes in. He's not overweight, but definitely out of shape. He seems to be sweating rather profusely. There's a ambient dampness to the man. He leaves a slick of sweat behind on the door handle as he pushes the doors open and finds his way inside. A handkerchief in his left hand as he's wiping his forehead. He stuffs hurriedly into a pocket and starts making his way over towards the table. His tie has been it's not in place. It is very askew. And as he gets closer, you notice that his eyes are bloodshot and ringed, like the man has not slept for a lifetime. And he clears his throat. Go to the woman at the head of the table reaches over and hits a button on the laptop to make the music stop. She says nothing, but simply does this.
After the second person who isn't me has touched my iPad, I, not aggressively, but I do like grab it, flip the cover closed, set it in my bag.
Good afternoon. I'm not gonna make any introductions. You all know who I am, and I know who all of you are. You're all familiar with the shooting that went down 5 weeks ago? The aquarium?
No. I mean,
Nope.
I heard about it, but like, I only got in here a little bit ago.
I didn't hear about it, so.
Alex, of course, you are keenly aware of the shooting. Indeed, you treated one of the, at the time, survivors of the shooting. They did not last on your table, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know about the shooting. Is there something going on, or?
Well, we we'd like the three of you to find out the actual truth of what went on there. We've kind of given up faith in the usual authorities, and this needs a fresh set of eyes. See, that's where the three of you come in. Now, Dr. Singer, obviously your medical expertise would be invaluable in such an investigation. Mr. Callahan, you come highly recommended as something of a corporate troubleshooter, is I've heard it described, and
I do shoot trouble.
he looks at Sinner, and I think we both know what you're good for. So,
Sorry, what was that exactly? What exactly was it that I'm good for? I'm curious now. You've left it hanging.
well, let's just say that you come highly recommended in terms of getting answers about questions. You understand. You understand.
Oh. So, did Cora talk to you?
He just kind of stumbles and like flutters a little bit. Now, you'll all be fairly compensated for your time. We've set aside a considerable amount of money, and the old woman reaches into the purse that she's been carrying, that you notice now for the first time, and she pulls out just 3 fat envelopes, one presumes filled with cash, and holds them up. We listen. We're not really particular about what methods you use. We just know that there is more to this shooting than I think that you should pursue any lead you find, no matter how unusual or off the wall. Looks like you have some questions, though.
I'm not forensically trained. I'm I'm a surgeon.
I'm sure I'll be fine. I slept at a Holiday Inn Express last night, so. Yeah. So, do we need to be like sending an invoice for billable hours, or is this just a cash on the table kind of a deal?
I will be paying you in cash.
No. I don't want. No, I don't want your money. I don't want to be part of this.
Sinner takes a look at the note that was left on his pillow again, like checks the time on the clock, and if it's about the right time, folds up the note, tucks it back in his pocket, and says, "Well, Doc can have mine. I don't need it."
I don't want any of this. I don't want this. I don't want this, and I sure as hell don't want any of this. And I have patients to see to. I have a schedule to keep. I don't play golf. I actually see to my patients here. I'm gonna go.
That you start to go, and the older woman, who is now behind you, not really sure when she got there, is kind of like you try to get up, but there's just a person there, and it's kind of not. She doesn't like push you back in, but her presence sort of keeps you from just like bowling over this old woman. No, I don't think you understand. This comes on on behalf of Miss Inzeo, and I think she would very much appreciate it if you would help her in fuck it, whatever. It would be very helpful to her if you would pursue this course of investigation.
And it would
And
be
we would very much appreciate a medical expert's eye on this.
and it would be very troublesome if I didn't help. I
Hey, Doc,
give him the
I'm
pitch.
looking at the people here at the table. They clearly chose the best, you know? I have to assume that if I'm here and Sinner's here, that you're here because you're the best guy in town.
Mayor just kind of like wipes the back of his neck again.
I, by the way,
sweating
don't
profusely.
know how we feel about making rolls player to player. My aim is to convince, but I also understand if we don't want to use rolls on players.
I'm cool to free role play this. I'm moving
Yeah,
forward. on this.
there are moves for it, but I don't think we've hit like a that kind of a situation necessarily.
Super
yet.
sweet. Then yeah.
I best doesn't even enter into it. I am a surgeon, and you are and you're a singer, and I'm
The old woman places an envelope down. The envelope's down on the table in front of you. They're loaded with cash.
I've seen House. All right, that guy is good at everything.
House.
I'm sure that if you're
House.
smart enough
That's
in any one area, that you're automatically smart enough in all the rest of them too. I mean, everybody has to go through med school, right?
yes, that is exactly how it works. Yes, because all of the training that I went to keep people alive is going to directly translate to being understanding of how somebody who did a terrible thing, why they did the thing that they did, and how, because doing a transplant is just the same as a fucking autopsy.
I mean, no, but you definitely are going to be better at an autopsy than me. And I don't, Romney, you don't know how to take a body part, do you?
I mean, I'm sure that given 20 minutes in a YouTube video, I could figure it out. But I got to be honest. I mean, isn't an autopsy basically the same as transplanting an organ, but in reverse?
Oh yeah,
I mean,
no. You know what? You nailed it. You don't need me. See, you
should be fine.
You've got money bags here.
As he clears his throat again, in a kind of wiping the back of his neck. You don't have to worry about your patients, Doctor. We've already taken the liberty of speaking to the Chief of Staff, and you are currently on a leave of absence.
Whoa! You can't take my patients away from me. I need to be able to see them. Yeah, they can read a chart, but they don't know everything that's going on with them. I've got several patients that are at critical moments in their care that if they don't receive the proper
I'm sure that they'll all be very as this like sweaty, bloodshot-eyed man like leans into the table. I'm sure they'll all be just fine.
Sinner kind of like sticks a hand up and inserts it in between two of them, like, hey, do you have like a file on what it is we're supposed to be doing? Because again, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So
he reaches over to the file folder from earlier, and slides it into the middle of the table. Again, it's an unnerving sensation, a weirdly familiar sensation for Alex. And then he flips it open, and there's just one thing inside, and it is the the hell is the word of that? The handout that I handed to you. It's a small file.
That's
hopefully you guys can open.
Yeah.
Sinner kind of like one finger sort of taps the file and goes, "Well, that's your patient now, Doc."
For the sake of the audience at home, it's like a police report. For my players, again, ignore the fingerprints at the bottom of it. It's not an actual police report, but it's a small profile of someone named Patrick Edward Wilson, an 18-year-old male, 5'9", 150 pounds, blonde hair, blue eyes, his address, the fact that he's a student, and a summary of the events of that fateful October day when he decided to step inside of an aquarium and end the lives of 20 other people. There's a small list of his family and close relations. And Mayor Dapperton says, this is a place to start. Start looking around here. There's also, the usual sorts of evidence, CCTV footage, the scene of the crime, evidence lockers. Doc, I'm sure you can figure out how to get to the morgue. He offers sort of as like a half-hearted joke.
No, seriously, fuck you. I'm not okay. I'm not okay right now. This is absurd.
Romney, without speaking, just slides the tin of mints back over towards the doctor.
I don't want your fucking mints. Picks them up and just throws them.
Hey,
The
those were like $30. Yeah, whatever.
The old woman, again, does not respond. The mayor is slightly confused and taken aback as the mints tumble and clatter, hitting, like, the corner of it hits the ground, and they split open, like, mints just flying and scattering across the floor like a shotgun blast of pills that get you high.
Yeah, that's a waste. Damn.
I agree.
All right, I'm
Doc, what's the problem here?
I'm sorry about your mints, but this is the absurdity of this is beyond the pale. I don't know who is going to be looking after my patients. I don't know who's going to be seeing them from hour to hour. I don't know. I don't have access to the nurses' logs and
Okay.
their current state and.
So hang on, calm down. Take a couple breaths, bro. All of those.
You
things
say
that you
bro
just
to me
mentioned-
one more time, I'm going to show you what knowledge of the human body can do to somebody when I don't want to help them.
Oh, I
Doc,
like it. Spicy. All right. Okay,
Don't
bruh.
patronize
So
me.
I'm not patronizing you. I'm trying to help you. All right. So listen, all of these things that you mentioned, they're solvable problems. Okay. So let's say that we can get you the knowledge of who's going to be helping and what the schedule looks like and, what they're doing on the charts and all that. If we get you those things, does that help get you to yes?
There is a bedside manner to this that is needed and
You've shown you have a lot of it.
No. You want me to work with these people too? On top of taking me away from my patients, you're going to put me with a drifter and a fucking poster child for the damn Hitler Youth?
I prefer free market capitalist, but whatever floats your boat.
I see that you're having some trouble with this this arrangement. One moment, please. As he turns and produces a small cell phone from his pocket. He turns away from you and he dials a number, and he sets it down in the middle of the table, and you hear it ringing as he sets it to speakerphone. A voice picks up. And that's where we're going to go to break. This is the part of the show where we take a moment to get up, to stretch our legs, to go. We return with the small black cellular phone sitting on the table, ringing into the room with the what is it called, the speakerphone activated. Uh, the slow drone of a dial tone being punctuated by the continual tick tick of the clock on the wall, the occasional sniffling and shuffling of Mayor Philip Dapperton. And then after 3 or 4 rings, you hear a receiver pick up. And a woman's voice, an older woman, with a slight twinge to her voice, the barest hint of a southern accent, just simply says, "Yes, Miss Nzeo, I'm afraid, I'm afraid the doctor here is reticent to be part of this investigation. They are they're worried about their patients." I see. All right then. Inform the chief of staff of their resignation.
What? No, 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 no. What? You just no, no.
Ah, Dr. Singer, you're on the call, I see.
Yes, yes, I am, and no.
You seem to be thinking that you're in a position to bargain here, and what I am not hearing from you is a yes. So
extortion. You're threatening lives.
Hey, Doc, and I'm trying to not be picked up on the speakerphone, but I don't care that much in the end. Doc, you might want to cool it.
You might want to back off, Abercrombie.
Abercrombie is way too low rent for me.
That's a good one.
I need you to understand that this is not a discussion. So, either you will return this favor to me, as I have done for you in getting you this job in the first place, or I will simply take the job back, and you can deal with whatever consequences befall you from that. So, I am an excruciatingly busy woman and do not have time for this. As she speaks, you feel the temperature in the room drop a few degrees. It's noticeably cooler in here. The Mayor Dapperton is in both hands now wringing the cloth that he was kind of dabbing at his sweat with. He's just has it in his hands, and his you could notice that like his elbow is slightly bouncing nervously.
Let me make a phone call, and I'll have you an answer.
Dr. Singer, I do not have time for a phone call. So,
Just one phone call. Just one phone call. I need to be sure of something, and then you have me.
Philip, yes, the mayor kind of leans down into his phone as if he needed to be closer for her to hear him. Pick up this phone. He kind of fumbles for it, puts it up to his ear. Yes, Miss Nzeo. And his eyes snap over to Alex. And he looks over at Sinner and then over at Romney. Understood. He hangs up the phone. Make your phone call.
Picks up, goes to the second person on speed dial, Bethany.
It rings. And it rings.
Pick up the phone, Beth.
And it rings.
Pick up the phone, Beth.
And it rings. And just as you are certain it is about to go to voicemail, you hear the click of a receiver. Dr. Singer?
Oh, thank God, Beth. Thank God. I know you just got off shift and you're probably trying to crash right now really hard, and you deserve it so much.
Crawling into bed. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I need the biggest favor on ever. The biggest favor ever. I know you and I have only known each other like 6 months or so, but there's a really big emergency that just happened, and I'm not going to be able to be in the hospital for a little bit. I can't show up. What I need you to do, I need you. I need you to go and check up on my 8. I had the 8 pre-ops that were getting ready. I need you to see. Oh God, I hate messing with the schedules. I need you to see if you can keep them keep their schedules off of other people's calendars, and just move whoever you can off until I get back. Only in critical situations are they to go under somebody else.
Okay. Move. Yeah. Okay. So, Williams, McKinley. Yeah. I can. You're 8. Sure.
You know who I'm
do
talking
that.
about.
Are you in some kind of trouble?
Well, I no, but stuff came up, and I really have to take care of it. I can't really go into details, but I'm not going to be able to come in, and I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm not hurt or anything like that, and like I'm not going. It's I'm all right. I'm okay.
Yeah. Okay. Breathing's good. You should definitely try breathing sometime. Okay.
Yeah. But I can't make it in. So if you take care of that for me, I will feel.
Yeah. Hey. Don't even worry about it. All right. It's done. Whatever's going on there, it's done. We're good here.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Don't even sweat it. Yeah. Absolutely. I'll call Debbie, and I'll get it. I'll talk to. Yeah. Hey, when you're done with whatever, you call me, okay?
Yeah. If I get a moment, even while I'm taking care of this stuff, I'll give you a call and let you know what's up.
Okay.
Thank you. And he hangs up the phone. They hang up the phone, and okay, Mayor Dapperton, you have me.
All right then. Well, oh jeez, sorry, need to mute a thing. All right. So, yeah, where were we? So this is just an advance on the payment here, as he kind of gestures towards the whole time that conversation was going on too. The camera was like sitting across the table from Alex and just was like pushing in closer and closer and closer in on their face, but we still saw the stock still body of the old woman in the floral blouse and the dark purple skirt just standing there the whole time he was on the phone. This call that they took in the middle of this room. and he says, right, so, we just want you to look into what happened, why it happened, and just dig around for anything unusual, because the cops in this town are fucking useless, frankly. So, any
So,
questions?
How would you characterize the core deliverables in this kind of a situation? Then, do you actually want anything written down, or is this just
No. And he pulls out like a trio of business cards and kind of slap. He goes to pull out four of them end up in his hand, and he kind of sets them on the table. They're slightly damp with the sweat of his right hand as he immediately like sets it down and leaves a streak of sweat sliding it over to you. It's just you call me directly. You talk straight. You only talk to me about this. Talk to nobody else. Nobody else needs to know about this. Nobody else needs to hear about this. You call me if you discover whatever. Okay?
I've got my my people signed to some pretty ironclad NDAs. Is it cool if I let them in on sort of generally what I'm doing, or do I need to keep them in the dark?
I would appreciate your discretion, as would you know who.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Is there still a crime scene?
Let's see. Would you know this? The the place where you keep fish, Fox, the aquarium. The aquarium is still closed. They're still cleaning up the place after the event. Which, again, out of character for the people at the table, it has been 5 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's been a while. Yeah, they still got cleaners up there cleaning the place out, looking around. So it's been closed. Nobody's touched the place besides the cleaners.
Are the cops going to hassle us if we ask them for their files?
My understanding is that is for the three of you to work out.
So yes, maybe. Got it.
So we don't even have credentials for this.
Again, I have to stress that this is to be done discreetly.
Great. Great.
Sinner is sort of twirling the business card in between his fingers, just kind of idly doing this. And I have a question for his mind.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
You have a move. I would love for you to
I'd
roll.
love to use it. Yeah. See what we get.
So I look up some things real quick.
Okay.
You go right ahead.
An 11.
11. All right. On an 11, choose two options.
Excellent. Search for specific information the person should know. Okay, so I would like to. The two I would like to use are search for specific information the person should know, and search their memories for a specific event, etc. and etc.
Okay.
I'm gonna do the memories first because I'd like to know, if possible,
Sure.
I'd like the memory of their phone call when they were first told to contact us.
Ooh. Okay.
I'd like to know how that went down.
You stare into Mayor Dapperton's eyes. As you do, Romney and Alex, you both notice that for the first time, well, not for the first time, you've seen her talk and move occasionally, but this is the first time you've seen the old woman there. Her head slowly turns towards Sinner. And Sinner, what you see is you're at a desk. in your office, you're writing an email to a investment firm, reassuring them that the tragedy that befell our town 5 weeks ago was an isolated incident done by a lone actor and is not indicative of the sorts of things you can expect from a town as peaceful and pleasant as. And the phone rings. And you pick it up, and it sounds like hell in human form on the other side. It's this awful, fucking anxiety-inducing, like, grind of noise, a churn of, like, imagine a clock where its gears are made out of like meat and fingernails. Like, it's this awful grinding, churning, wet noise is what you is what you hear on the other end of the phone. But it's a noise that makes your stomach drop, but it's the noise you expect when you get a call from this number. And you explain to the voice, and the novelization of this, voice is in heavy quote marks. You explain to the voice on the other side of the phone that it's yes, the shooting was strange, and no, it doesn't seem to track that this Patrick kid would haul off and blow people's brains out in the middle of our brand new aquarium. And the timing sure is inconvenient. Yes, I can try and put something together. Yes, I understand. And the voice on the other end basically orders you to get an investigation going on this. It then speaks two names: Dr. Alex Singer and Romney Callahan, actually, is all the voice would say. That's the memory you get. I think you might be muted.
Excellent. The second thing, I think, is actually... Well... yeah, I'd like to know, since, you know, this thing happened, quote, at a brand new aquarium, unquote, and yes, the timing is inconvenient. I'd like to know why the timing is inconvenient.
Okay, so you're searching for specific information that he would know.
Yes. Why? Because there's inconvenient, and then there's grindy meat, fingernails, clock inconvenient, right?
Sure. Yeah, they just opened the fucking place. Big new exhibits. It was gonna be a big draw. This is a resort town, or it has aspirations to be a resort town someday. Right now, it's a podunk little shithole in Western Washington. But hey, if we build a cool shopping center, if we build a big fancy hotel, if we build an amazing aquarium, if we build a big, beautiful office building, that'll bring people in. And then this happens.
Cool. And Sinner just kind of, yeah, Sinner just kind of like stops. Okay. Sounds good.
As you come back from that brief, that flash of a reverie, you notice the old woman is staring at you. 1,000-yard stare, though, but she's looking at you.
And then Sinner turns
Doesn't
back to the...
react.
Yep, Sinner turns back to the mayor and says, all right. Let's get started. Oh, and again, Doc can have my share. That sounds like he needs it more than I do, frankly.
I don't need anybody's fucking money. And Alex stands up and starts walking towards the door.
The old woman, neither the old woman or the mayor moves to stop you. If there's nothing else, then that's the information that we we have. In your investigation at your own discretion. If you have anything or you need anything, there's my phone number on my card. And he goes to leave.
I use the text recognition on my phone and scan the content of the card.
Sinner,
Yeah, got it.
Sinner digs into a pocket and says, "Hey, Mayor," and then from where he's standing, throws a Halls at him, like just bings it across the intervening space.
It's you throw it and it lands just on the side of his neck with like a wet splat. And he kind of like reaches up for it, like as he's passing through the door, like he doesn't even turn back to look at you. He just kind of like reaches up at it and like bats it away. And it's just like wet and damp as he flicks it off of his fingers. And he heads out the door.
Interesting.
The old woman remains in the room by the table. The file folder sitting on the table, as well as the 3 envelopes full of cash.
So I don't need it, but I'll take it if everyone else is just offering up their shares.
I mean, if Doc isn't going to take it, I'm going to take mine. So
okay,
but,
I'll grab
seems
Doc's.
like we don't need it so much, he says.
No, not so much. I'm gonna grab Doc's and give it to him later because I'm sure he's gonna reconsider that once he's had a moment to calm down.
Fair enough.
Well, do I know that yet?
I'm okay with riding it.
Yes, because I'm trans and people just intuitively know what your gender is in this universe.
Okay, that's
Okay.
fine. I can absolutely work with that. And though Romney is an absolute flaming asshole, still gets pronouns correct, or at least tries to.
Oh yeah. Even demons in this universe get pronouns correct.
Escapism. Anyway.
Yay. To a better
Yeah,
place, a happy place,
for sure.
where even the demons get the pronouns right. So yeah, I grab the doctor's share and all of Romney's equipment, and start putting it in my bag, and want to get a drink? I say to Sinner.
Yeah, it's about early enough. Let's do it.
Yeah. You want to come along with us? Very nice lady.
She does not respond to you.
That's a no, probably.
Yeah. So I'm looking at her. Does she look like she's breathing?
Mm-hmm. Very slowly.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, it was a pleasure meeting you. And I, grab the file and toss that in my bag. Actually, I don't even grab the file. I scan it with my phone, page, and then hand it back.
Sinner takes it.
You hand it to Sinner. Okay, got it.
I think it sounded like Ron was handing it back to the lady.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
Sinner leans back, reaches, grabs it, and then I prefer analog and walks out the door.
Oh, yeah, no. I get it. Totally fine, bro.
As Sinner turns his back to you, Rom, I'm going to spend a hold. Let's see here.
No, that's all right. Maybe you should save it.
No, absolutely not. We're spending this. Huh. As Sinner turns around, you stand up, and the camera switches perspective very quickly. As Sinner, you feel, and we see, hand come up through the back of your hair. Like this. Like someone is basically palming the back of your head. What do you do?
Who sees this? I see this on Sinner.
No, Sinner. Sinner experiences what feels like somebody palming the back of their head.
Sinner
What do you do?
freezes for a second and waits to see what the hand does.
Alex, Romney stood up very quickly and with a shocking amount of force, knocking the chair back. Stood up and went and just grabbed the back of Sinner's skull.
Are you two just getting drinks? Because I feel like we
Wasn't
should just
intending for
go.
it to be more than that, but what is?
Romney, you hear somebody say, "Take it!" And you're holding the back of Sinner's head.
I guess I'm grabbing and pulling
Alright.
then.
Oh no, you're in full control of your faculties now.
Oh, am I? Oh,
The last thing you remember is Sinner turned around,
okay.
and now you just have your hand on the back of Sinner's head. And my batteries are running low. Shit.
Okay, so then instead, this is not new. I turn to the doctor and say, "Yeah, doc, let me buy you a drink to make it up to you." And wow, what products do you use? It's so lustrous, so lush and vibrant. I say as I then remove my hand and finish putting my shit in my bag.
Yeah.
Incidentally, I have also spent one of your holds for Object of Desire, Sinner.
Fair. Sinner just kind of like, I don't remember. My stylist gets it for photo shoots, and I've just been using the same thing ever since. So, Doc, drinks and plan? That's what we're thinking.
I'm thinking just plan.
Okay, well, I'm going to grab drink and plan then, if we're going to compromise halfway in between.
Good.
Doc, you're from around here, right? There's probably a bar doing some kind of kegs and eggs kind of deal right about now.
I don't
I mean, it's
think the.
Is this...
I mean, yeah, I know a
it's
place.
11 in the afternoon.
Is this an open
Just to give
carry
you an
town?
idea. Washington State, so no.
Okay.
Okay, sorry, Connery. What were you saying?
Alex just has that moment of I don't. I know a place.
Great. Why don't we?
What place?
I'll get the Uber.
Oh, I got it, bro. I got it. I've got a.
I was serious about the bro thing.
Sorry, Doc. Then I've got a corporate card. We'll get a black XL. It'll be fine.
All right, then I'll just give you the address. And Alex gives the address for one of their preferred night spots that happens to also do an afternoon brunch.
Ooh. So,
The type of place that caters to a certain clientele.
okay, gotcha.
I used to work at one of these places. It was called Mother's.
I was gonna say, yeah. We you punch in an address, and we cut to an exterior of a. It's not raining as such anymore, but the gray clouds have kind of fulfilled their threat, looming over in the sky of a light drizzle beginning. We call this summer in Washington. As we start, yeah.
I do have a name for the place when you get to it, by the way.
Oh, okay, good. Then I will go to you then. Perfect.
You can toss when you wish.
Absolutely. We start. The camera's got this very low angle on the ground of water trickling down and running into a sewer grate as the Uber like pulls up in front of it, and the two doors rather in the back and the one up front open as our three lost souls make their way out, and the camera sort of pulls up and around, and we see a we see a sign. What does the sign look like, first of all?
It has a mountain range on it that looks suspiciously like a lounging woman.
Mm-hmm.
The sign specifically underneath it says Madam's Mountain Palace.
Quick note for myself.
This is the night spot that Bethany introduced them to when they first showed up.
Oh, absolutely.
They are known for two things. Their brunch menu and the drag review.
It's one of the fewer. It's on the southern part of town. Let's see. Let me actually get my map up.
Something Grand Tetons.
It's just across the bridge into Southmont, in the poorer section, essentially, of the city. The city's kind of bisected by the Grey River, with Northmont and Southmont. And this is just on the other side, near the bridge, in kind of a... Oh.
Is Grey a name or a descriptor?
It's the name of the river, Grey, Grey River.
Spelt right. Okay.
I agree.
Samesies.
I'll never understand. Okay, so break kayfabe here for a second. Spelling it Gray. Come on, have a little class, American English. Grey. Gray.
No, I'm partial to the A, so that makes me the asshole.
Well, get the fuck off my street. Get out of here.
Wait. Oxford comma, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, all right.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Yes,
All
but I'm not gonna psych you out if you forget.
Which is fair. So, Madam's Mountain Palace it's got a brick front. The windows are there's shades that are down but not like drawn close, so some natural light is pushing in through. It's got this old oak door with like a little a smaller like stained glass version of that same Lady Mountain range, and you sort of push your way inside, and it's quaint and charming enough. There's tables around. There's a bar. There is, of course, a small runway / stage thing in the middle. And yeah, and as you come in, a man holding a towel and is clearly like bussing a table just is. Somebody with you in just a second, and kind of shuffles off into the back room. The three of you find a table, and what do you do?
Just generally taking in the ambiance. Okay, all right, kind of quaint, but sure, I can get into this.
I haven't been here since I snuck in with a fake ID.
Behind the bar, there is a not a small collection. There is a collection of various pride flags draped between, like you have the shelves of a bar, and then between those shelves, like along the brace, there's like, here's, your regular gay pride flag, like here's the trans pride flag, non-binary pride, etc. Like down the line.
Yay.
All right.
So, I would suggest they do a great full breakfast if you want.
God, I've been craving something like that. Yeah, sounds good.
Sure, sounds fun. You're from here. Order it up. What's everybody's Slack or well, so that we can get started with sharing files and knowledge and stuff.
I have my phone number.
What's your soch? What soch means do you use?
I have my email.
All right. What's your email?
A singer at devgeneral. That'd be a .org probably.
I would think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you might wanna make a new email account for just this particular project.
No.
Maybe a Gmail so that we can send stuff back and forth.
Why would I do that?
Because you don't want this off the books investigation commingling with your work email that you seem to want to maintain.
All right, you three. What can I get? Oh, hey, Doc. Good seeing
Hi.
you around here. Ooh, who's the cutie? He kind of like looks over at Center. Who's the cutie you brought? New date of yours?
Nope.
Yes, actually.
Work associates.
I'm just fucking with him. It's okay.
Oh, I know. We all like to tease them a little bit around here, but still, though. So, what can I get you three?
3 fulls.
3 fulls coming right up with service and a smile. So he kind of
pulls out
slinks
the
back behind the
mayor's
bar.
business card and just kind of tucks it around and with a small pen. Just as they go by, just here you go.
You slipped him you slipped the waiter the mayor's business card. Am I understanding that correctly?
with a pen, just like because they were like, and it was like,
Gotcha. Okay. Just gonna spend a hold and for object of desire and keep on rolling. Anyway, the three of you are
hi
left
everyone,
alone back at the table
Debbie
again.
Hayes person is playing the sexy one. Good luck. I don't know how this works. Here we go.
Okay. I would just like to get this up front. We're here because this is one of the places where I feel at home. So,
Okay.
treat it as though you are at my home, and I will be much more amenable to working together with you.
This is a great home. If this is your home, this is lovely. Love this. This is wonderful.
We'll go with
Speaking
that.
of, Alex, you are no longer under the effects of that -1 to your rolls because you're dealing with the distraction of a thing.
Zang.
Being here has calmed you considerably.
Okay. So, let's work together, get this done as fast as possible, so I don't have to push any dates back any further. Okay?
Yeah, I mean, I think that they're looking for a pretty speedy resolution on this one anyway. Sounds like they're pretty unhappy with local law enforcement not being able to get the job done. So, pretty sure that we can bang this out probably a lot faster than, they did, or tried, or failed.
You
know what I mean?
If I remember from reading everything, because I wanted to find out the hell went down, they have just kind of written it off as another kid going off the deep end kind of thing. Lone gunman idea.
Well, that's always wrong.
Why do you say that?
The whole lone gunman thing, that's never like that's just speak for we don't want to look into it too much. Come on.
Okay, fine. If that's the way you want to play it, if that'll help you get more interested, fine.
Yeah.
A young high school kid, the papers just did the usual, but he was such a nice boy, that crap.
Well, I mean, boys will be boys, but
I'm gonna need you to get a handle on some of that.
Some of what?
That. Like all that.
I'm gonna need the three of you to get a handle on some of this. As the waiter returns 3 plates, he just ka-dunk, sets them down.
Thanks, Billy. You know how to cut the tension.
as he like leans down and gets like really close to center, and he's like, "It's not the only thing I can cut." And like on your plate, there is like the card is like it's got a phone number on it now.
Looks
Awesome.
up. Subtle, Billy. Subtle.
He just blows a kiss at you, and if you need anything else, I'll be right over there.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks. This looks great. What am I looking at?
So yeah, I was about to say, it's like, do you since Connery, since you kind of had this place so fully formed,
It's
I'm curious.
it's
You're more of a foodie than I will ever be.
an Americanized full English breakfast. So there's like 4 sausages. There's 3 eggs. There's rasher and streaky bacon. There's of course, because of the maple trees, you got extra side of pancakes as well. And the one thing that usually throws people off, baked beans.
No cakes on stream.
Okay. Hey, Billy. I'll pay for it, but can I get my eggs just whites only, please?
One set of segregated eggs coming up.
Thanks. Rom completely blows past it.
Disappears into the back.
Of course,
So-
toast. Yeah, that's right. Of course, there's also toast on the side.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, toast and pancakes. Need them both.
Yeah.
Romney otherwise doesn't eat any of what's on the plate, but like looks at it and is very impressed.
Prick.
So you live here. So did you happen to work on any of these people when they came in, or were you involved in any?
I was doing a consult, and I got a call from the ER that they needed a couple of extra hands down there. It's Devonsport isn't exactly a big hospital. Seattle usually takes in a majority of like the intensive care cases. This just happened to be so close, and they needed to be seen immediately, that calling in a helicopter and flying them out to Seattle would have just didn't do any good. Bringing was Devonsport General anyway. So
To give the audience just a real quick idea to make sure that we've driven home the size of Devonsport, its police department is a sheriff's office. It has a sheriff and 3 deputies.
it's got some walking tall energy right now.
You can't sneak a Western into Cult Fox.
Write the scenario. I simply modified it.
I need to know: is this a cowboy hat situation?
No, dear God, no.
In Austin, it's always a cowboy hat situation. But
All right.
anyway, to give you an idea of Dr. Singer's bang on the money, and this town's very small. Please continue. Apologies.
So the residents and the on calls, they needed an extra set of hands. There was not enough doctors and too many injured.
Did you know this kid?
No,
What is it, Wilson? Weston?
Wilson.
Patrick. That was the last name. Yeah,
Wilson.
I got that confused.
Sinner, did I catch that you grew up around here?
Yeah. Moved to LA for industry, but there's not a lot of it around here. But yeah.
You
Do you mind?
familiar with the family, or did you know anybody
I was
who?
just about to ask that.
No, you do not know the Wilsons. Not personally.
Okay.
Okay. Do I know any of the other people on the bottom there on the other relations?
The
section?
no, so the yeah, in addition to Patrick Wilson's family, which is his mother Clara Wilson, his father Paul Wilson, and his sister Elizabeth Wilson. Two other relations are noted: a girlfriend by the name of Ashley Dapperton, and a close friend by the name of Hussein. I'm sure I'm going to pronounce this wrong. Hussein Abtai or Abtahi. I'm not sure
Abtahi.
which.
I believe
Is it
that's
Abtahi?
I believe that's Abtai.
Abtai. Okay. Yeah, Hussein Abtai.
Dapperton.
You don't.
Isn't that the
Mayor.
guy we were talking to? Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're related.
In this town, if you share a last name, you most definitely are related. There's no.
Sure, but like I don't know any of these people. That's already kind of weird, you know? Like I'm not up to date on the people who've moved here, but I don't know any of them. So.
Yeah.
The city would be gentrifying if it wasn't already so white.
Yeah, well,
they
can do that anyway.
It doesn't specifically say how many injured. Casualty count, wounded v. Killed.
Sure. Let's see. Was that something you would know offhand? Moment, please, while I check the actual full casualty count. That is something that is in the prep, but I got to go look it up. Boop, boop, boopity boop.
I don't know either of the cops in the report either, do I?
Depends. What were
Okay.
you like as a kid here?
Again, snuck into this place with a fake ID, so.
You don't know a Carol McLean, but you do know a Sheriff McLean. Because anybody who's ever had a run-in with the laws bumped into the sheriff in some capacity.
Gotcha. So, okay. Yeah, I know. Sorry, never mind. I know one person on this list.
Here we go.
It's the person I'd expect I'd know for something like this.
What Alex would know without going and looking is what they would remember from the news reports, that it was somewhere in the vicinity of 20 odd people were killed.
20.
More than 20 people were killed, and several more were seriously injured.
Yeah, that's way more than the 8 doctors we had on call. There were a few that didn't even make it out of triage. There's a assault rifle. Those know how to do the damage that they needed it to. Yeah, they don't know where. They said he didn't know where they got the gun from. They didn't know why this would happen. Great kid, all that shit. Total surprise. I don't know if they even looked into his background. Just everyone was so shocked.
Okay, so
As you start to speak, clatter onto the table comes your plate of whites only eggs. Without
Hey!
any further word.
Thanks. Fantastic. And takes just the tiniest bit of salt and a little bit of pepper.
Go easy.
Yeah, I am. I'm splurging a little bit. This is a special occasion. So, okay. So it sounds like we need to run down these contacts, try to figure out what the cops know. Are you able to sneak medical reports?
Sneak medical reports. I could put in a requisition if I have to. It's not exactly the subtlest thing on the planet.
Yeah, I was going to say, if we start ringing up people asking about the thing, that's going to get out pretty quick.
That's why I asked if you can sneak them.
Oh, I was talking about the contact people, like the family, the friends.
I can get in touch with some people. I'll see if my question would how's Sheriff Micklene's cholesterol?
Aha. Let me check his character sheet. So the thing about this, just to tip my hand a bit to the audience a little, so the thing about this adventure is that it normally runs with a quartet of pre-constructed characters, or precons, as I like to call them, which we will not be using, clearly, for this wonderful, colorful cast of characters. So I'm actually going to take a look at this character sheet for this character who became an NPC, and just really quickly get an idea of what his deal is.
That's definitely a detail that I haven't seen any of the modern fighting games include. Is they always give you blood type, but they don't tell you a cholesterol level or.
True.
You know, it's his cholesterol isn't great. You've definitely you know every other doctor in that place, and people talk. So you know that he's how old is he? He's closing in on retirement age. Okay, so he's like in his 50s.
Oh, he's definitely come through, and small town sheriffs are not exactly known for their.
I'm sorry, he's in his early 60s. He has to be because his daughter. Yeah, okay, his daughter is yeah. Anyway, yes.
Yeah, that's a person who's probably come in for a consult.
These days especially, there's not a lot of crime in the town. He spends a lot of time sitting on his ass, and hey, you know, that's not going to do great things for your physique.
Okay. I can get us maybe to have a conversation, or at least I can have a conversation with the sheriff.
Okay. Okay. Let me see what I can do about getting these other ones, getting some info on them without tipping anybody off.
So you are going to go look up the, let me check these notes here, high school children?
Yeah.
Okay. I believe in you for that one.
Well, and anyway, I'm not going to do it. And I pull up my phone and I call Claire.
Sure. And it. So one moment as I go get her. I know I've got her full name somewhere. Damn it. I have misplaced it, unfortunately. Where did I put the full name of Claire? I hate myself right now. I'm up in the air.
Claire Redmond.
Redmond. All right.
Devil's Lick
thank
Gaming
you.
does not condone using intermediaries to look up high school children. Just want to.
Yes, like do not.
Devil's Law Gaming does not condone any of the shit we are about to pull. Do not.
Do not.
These are bad people. Well, these are bad people.
These are bad people. But yeah, it barely finishes its first. Red what? Redmond?
Redmond.
Redmond.
Reddman.
Redman. Okay, all right. It's not Redmond. Sorry, there's Redmond, Washington, and my brain keeps going to that for some fucking reason. Redmond. She just, yeah, you just click. You have Redmond.
Yeah, hey, how's it going, Claire? So
I'm tremendously, fantastically busy.
That's what I love to hear.
Someone give Robin shit.
A couple of things. First off, if you could get Chip into the Steadicam rig so that he can, give me a full minute-to-minute rundown of our regular consulting work for the day, that would be great. So if you could just
I'm going to assume
around.
that was supposed to be a joke. I'm not laughing at it. What's the other thing you need?
It's actually not. I'm not going to be there. So that gets me to thing 2, which is I'm going to be doing some need to know stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I'm going to have to ask you for some things, but your discretion, which as usual is impeccable, is going to be tested, I think.
Okay, you're going to have to start speaking English at some point. What do you need from me?
I got a couple of names. If you could have our guys who do the background checks and such take a look at them, that would be real cool. And
Sure.
uh,
Okay.
ST, I am invoking network of contacts.
Mm-hmm. Let me take a look at the text on that. Doot. All right. Whenever you check in with your contacts regarding an individual of your choosing, roll plus charisma. So, who is the individual of your choosing?
So the primary name I think that's going to get us somewhere is Ashley Dapperton.
Ashley Dapperton. Okay. Sure. Go ahead and roll plus charisma.
Zed over here making moves.
Uh-huh. Oh, fuck yeah. A total of 21.
Jesus Christ.
I rolled an 18. It's my best stat.
Yeah, that's okay. So that's greater than
Charisma is
15.
best.
On a full hit, you may ask 3 questions from the list below. So your goals to questions are: what resources do they have at their disposal? Who do they have business dealings with? Where can I find them? What do they want? And what are they most afraid of losing?
Yeah. So the questions I'm aiming for are... hang on. Here's where it is. What are they most afraid of losing, and who do they have business dealings with? And business dealings hopefully could be translated to something
Okay, well,
age appropriate.
no, it's cool. We can also do these one at a time. So your first question is: what are they most afraid of losing?
Mm-hmm.
By
the way,
here.
Oh, sorry. I'm perfectly fine with these like taking a moment to get back to me. They don't have to be answered instantaneously.
Sure, but so what we'll say then is you just hear, "Give me 5 minutes." Click. Bloop. Some
girl
eating
Claire's on
happens.
Yep.
Some eating happens, and you get a series of texts. The first of which, so what are they most afraid of losing? One moment, please, while I call up some quick notes on Ashley. That name shows up a whole lot in all of this stuff here, but there's a specific section I'm looking for, you fucking thing.
In that time, mimosas or Bloody Marys were acquired.
Excellent. Mimosa
Beautiful.
plus Bloody Mary.
Rom will drink a Bloody Mary.
It is a tomato.
Actually,
Yeah, it's vegetable juice plus alcohol. He's
I'll
totally
get
in for that.
a Caesar.
Spicy.
So her social media presence, her Twitter account basically drops off very sharply the day of the shooting. And it picks back up about a week later with the kind of unnervingly forced positivity. You get the impression that she's afraid of losing the normalcy that she had before the tragedy. Next question.
Who does she do business with?
She was attending the local high school. She hasn't been back to classes since the event. And obviously a lot of her postings and stuff talk about her boyfriend, the shooter, Patrick Wilson.
Out of curiosity, I don't know.
Needless to say, she is no longer doing business with him.
Yeah, I don't know if I can get this as a freebie, but what does her profile currently say her relationship status is?
It's complicated.
Interesting. Okay, good.
Oh, and I guess arguably she does business with the mayor, as she is the mayor's daughter.
Sure. Who seems to comment a lot, like on her posts and whatnot? Are there any other names that stand out?
Not that stand out, but that's also not one of the questions from your list.
Understood. I'd like to do the same thing for Abdahi.
Well, okay. 1 second.
Yeah,
Have you got
that's
something
fine.
there, Alex?
Yeah, while the wheeler and dealer is going about jaw jacking on the phone.
Uh-huh. Just gonna write down my favorite moment of the night. Sweet Christ.
Nice.
Alex is doing the med school thing. Max absorption. So there aren't many other people in, like, because the tourist season kind of thing, and this place is, it's the brunch thing is more for just like people that know about it.
Yeah, and it's fucking dead in here.
Yeah. So taking out the information available, what is available? Like we have the file, and pulling up on their phone a bunch of the news articles from the recent time, and sure. I was gonna say if we had a lot of documents to put on the table, we would spread them out, but if it's just one file folder in that. Alex is going to investigate this.
You totally are. I was just about to call for it. When you investigate something, roll plus reason.
I like that.
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
Check something out very quickly.
A player knows the move they want. This is great.
Neither of these. Okay. So I was just checking my moves as my other moves as well.
Yes, your other advantages, which are very cool, I don't believe apply.
No, they don't apply. But, so let's see what I get here. Plus reason. Oh-ho! 18.
18. All right. On a 15 plus, you may ask 2 questions from the list below. On a success, you uncover all direct leads and may ask questions to get additional information. Yeah, so you sift through news articles, look at some videos of stuff that happened at the time, the local newspaper, the Seaside Gazette, of course, has an article on it, and direct leads are kind of tricky here because as far as the FBI are concerned, this went open and then very, very shut. This kid Wilson, friggin' on Thursday, October 3rd of 2014, went into the Devonsport aquarium, brought with him an assault rifle, gunned down over 20 people, 21 of which, including Patrick himself, did not survive the event. 3 more were injured and did survive. Yeah, that's all the obvious leads you really get there.
Okay.
So, but you've got questions.
I do. Okay. God, I'm having a hot fuzz moment. This is your most potent weapon.
It's true.
So the FBI did investigate.
Yep.
As an in and out case.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, Zed. I see you.
And they said specifically, that this was like a what was their assessment?
Sure. In fact, actually, I can just go straight into the see. I'm gonna read this verbatim out of the book because I think that's safe enough. The official investigation ended very quickly. Young man loses it, gets a gun, shoots up a place. Let's see. Both the FBI and the ATF thoroughly investigated Patrick Wilson and his family, but they didn't really find anything. Total, the death toll, final death toll was 21 dead, which includes the shooter. And then yeah, there were 3 other people at the shooting that were seriously injured, escaped. There were other people involved, but they escaped without getting hurt because he opened fire on a large group of people.
Did they say
All
anything?
of those people have since been treated and released.
Did they try to pin it on radicalization, or did they try to pin it on mental health? Like, what was their scapegoat?
Rock music, I'm sure.
It's let's see.
Violent video games.
Or is that
So
like
what I
one of
could
those
say-
like the investigation's currently ongoing, and then the papers never followed up, and we never got one?
It's basically that kind of situation. Really, everybody's just perplexed as to why
Okay,
this kid went and shot that place up.
that tells a better story anyway for the paper.
Essentially, yeah. Honestly, it's kind of weird that they like talked about it once and then didn't really ever talk about it again. So, but yeah, you've got your questions.
Okay.
Which
First,
you can ask from the list
I mean,
there.
you kind of sort of answered this one that I was going to ask. Is there anything weird about what I'm investigating? And you said that they did it like 1 or 2 stories and then nothing else afterwards. Like, it was way too fast.
Yeah, it's like it was buried almost.
Okay.
Yeah, like the FBI kind of came and went. Local police just. It feels very flippant. Like the local cops went, looked, went, yeah, kid went nuts, and then as far as they're concerned, open shut.
So
That's
buried
it.
by the
Dunzo.
officials and the media.
Yeah, the media doesn't. They kind of stopped talking about it after that first initial bump. Like there's the day it happened, and like a day or 2 afterwards, and then nothing.
Okay. So I get
Just
2
went
questions.
From page 1 to page 5 to off the page, basically.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They have 5 pages in the local paper. Anyway,
Fair point.
A lot of pages.
It's a
they're
very
doing
fair
good.
point.
What's their circulation?
That's
No, I'm
Bethany
just-
still gets it. It's weird.
Maybe
They're
it's
the
one of
only
those.
newspaper.
I was gonna say,
Mayor
is this one of
Dapperton.
those? Is this one of those towns where everyone, like the newspaper subscription, is worked into everyone's taxes?
Oh God, I wouldn't be surprised. That's how newspapers stick around
Yep.
these days.
It's true.
What? The 2 questions are very. So I have, for the edification of the chat, I have 2 questions before me that I have left to ask. How can I find out more about what I'm investigating, and what does my gut feel about what I'm investigating? They both kind of could be answered the same way, but I have good ideas of how we approach this. So I'm going to say, what is my gut feeling about what I'm investigating?
Seems good.
Your gut feeling is that, as much as you hate to agree with Mayor Dapperton, something about this whole thing really does seem off. This kid was just a normal, upstanding, liked by the neighborhood. Like every single interview they did was like, yeah, no, he was, way into like the science decathlon. He was a straight A student. His friends, like they get a quote from his friend Hussein, who just says like, yeah, we hung out, we played basketball. He liked he didn't even like Call of Duty, like he liked to talk about saving the environment. He was actively concerned about like climate change, and that was where his interest in science came from. So this kid fits none of the profile, is what your gut is telling you, that like it makes no sense that this kid became a mass shooter.
Okay. When we all return to each other's brains, because I want to make sure.
Sure.
I want to make sure that the sinner
Absolutely.
over here gets a chance.
Yeah. No, same, honestly.
That's fine. I think it's honestly really good that everyone else is doing this, because Sinner is not doing anything related to investigation at all. He's currently eating eggs and eyeing Romney's untouched plate of eggs.
Oh, buddy.
But what he is
Rob-
doing,
Romney will gently shift it towards Sinner. If he notices.
Go ahead.
Sinner just pulls it over, and with the kind of Google looking up stuff about the town on his phone, since everyone at Singer has the file and Romney's doing nothing, just kind of looking up stuff about, because he didn't know what the fuck happened, so he's been reading
Catching
the
up,
news
basically.
articles. Yeah.
Totally.
But what he has been doing is I would like to, I don't know how this works necessarily. I would like to peel through an illusion given Sinner what Sinner is. I was wondering if I can waive the general requirement for it.
You can't, no.
Okay, cool.
If you want to see through the illusion, you either have to suffer shock injuries or otherwise distort your perception through drugs or rituals if you wish to see
Then I
through
will
the
get
illusion.
Super
What
high
about-
later.
I was gonna say, what about my gummies?
Those aren't enough.
Yeah.
I know.
In that case, what Sinner has been doing is kind of trying to read the other two, because because he knows that when the mayor was told to go figure out other people, put together a team, these were the two that they were given. And he wants to know why. Because
Sure.
like an asshole, he has shared none of this information.
No,
with
totally.
anybody.
So this is so if you want to read a person that is a bit more targeted. Observing a situation is for a big group, but reading a person.
Reading
is
a
very specific
person
thing.
specifically, yeah. He's in the time that it is, he's taking his time and kind of.
Certainly. Who you zeroing in on?
I think he was gonna start with Romney, and then Romney pulled out his phone and started making a lot of very business-sounding calls. And Singer went, got it, and moved over to Singer immediately.
Okay.
Because why this, drawn-out, stressed doctor from the general
Sure.
hospital?
All right. So when you read a person, roll plus intuition.
Excellent. Okay.
This is you're just keeping an eye on sinners as they go about their side of the investigation.
That is how does math work? 18.
18.
That's my
Y'all
second
rolling
best.
hot. God damn. Okay, on a 15 plus, you can ask 2 questions from the list. The questions are
Okay.
as follows: Are you lying? How do you actually? Shit! I just realized I should have. My apologies. This is a GM fuck up. Alex, you have an opportunity here to hinder if you wish. You can roll. It's plus the same attribute, so it would be rolling plus intuition. And if you succeeded, you could give Sinner a negative to their roll. Which I should have given that opportunity before they rolled. I do apologize.
That's
But that's on
okay.
you if you want to hinder.
But I also know that they rolled an 18. He rolled an 18, so
True.
even if I fuck
They
with
did.
it and I get a perfect success, it doesn't change their results.
Okay.
So rock and roll.
Thank you. Sorry about that. I will try to keep that in future. That is something I need to remember and make sure that later at the table, if you do anything against another PC, the PC always gets an opportunity to hinder your roll.
Yeah.
Can you tell I am not used to PBTA games with PvP in them?
It's okay. I'm
So-
not used to games with PvP in them.
Totally. So, you've got a list of questions there,
Interesting.
which include: Are you lying? How do you feel right now? What are you about to do? What do you wish I would do? And how could I get you to blank?
Okay. Yeah. Sir doesn't give a fuck about the first 3. So it's gonna be the second 2. What do you like? Because Singer wants to know what
Sinner?
Singer. Yeah. It's again right.
Just
Alex.
Alex.
Alex. Alex.
Alex
Sinner
or Doc.
wants to know what
Yeah.
Doc. Doc. No, Sinner's a Doc kind of guy, I think, for now. Sinner wants to know what Doc wants, specifically of the 2 of them, because clearly, of the 3 of us, they're the one that did not want to be here. Clearly, so Sinner's trying to get a read on what would make Doc's life easier and would make them like a bit more like
So, are you basically asking how could I get you to relax?
yeah, like how can I get you to relax for one, and then also what is it your wish that I was doing? Kind of in the same vein of answering the same question, but on a different tangent.
No, I can answer both of those very easily.
Cool.
How could you get Alex to relax? Knowing that you can't change Romney, getting this over with as much as possible, getting this over with as quick as possible, so being useful and focusing on the task at hand is the main thing that would chill Alex out a little bit, because that would allow them to focus a little bit more. And that's kind of putting a target in front of somebody who has that kind of a focus. And what do you wish what does Alex wish Sinner would do? Not in contradiction of the previous statement, but as a result of the previous statement, fucking leave. Like, leave me alone.
Cool.
Basically, do he's
Getting it done so we can all leave.
yeah, that's the vibe.
Yep.
That's the vibe.
Got it. Cool. So Sinner kind of like mid switching plate of eggs, I feel. Having read now the news on this thing, goes, okay. Hey, Doc.
Yeah. Looking through pages, flipping.
Yeah. So I just want to say, the hotel, right? None of us wanted to be there. Tension's a little high. Apologize for the music. Is there something I can do to help you out? Because, I mean, I took the file, but you've got it, and there's only one. So.
Thank you. And the music was just putting me on edge is all. Did you have nothing to really apologize for compared to what I now have to do for those families. So we're good on that. If you want to help me, I guess look up there's just could I this is gonna sound really strange. Could I make you my assistant for a little bit?
I can't promise any particular performance merits, but sure.
No. I don't need you to like assist me like a nurse or something like that. If I told you who to call, could you be my PA and ask them to get us access to stuff? I'll coach you through the call. I just don't want to be on the phone if I don't have to.
I have to know where this is going. What's up, Zed? Or excuse me, Rom.
When Sinner asks about the file, Rom will prove that he's at least half paying attention by pulling up a copy of the file on his iPad and sliding it over to Sinner.
Ooh, excellent. It's not analog.
And then back to the phone call.
Actually, do you prefer paper or? And he sort of holds up the iPad to Doc.
Alex is writing on a script pad.
Cool. All right. Well, you've already got analog stuff going, so I'll handle that. I'll deal with this, I guess. Sinner like takes it, highlights a bit of text by accident, spends 30 seconds trying to figure out how to get rid of it. You know,
that kind of stuff. Okay. We need I need you to represent I need you to call the family, and I need access to his room. I want to see if I could. I took psych as a couple of classes here and there to fill out the curriculum when I started, so I don't have like deep. I'm not licensed to do that kind of medicine, but I can at least put something together, and that could give us some answers. So maybe I don't know who you could say we got permission from, but could you ask them to let us check out their stuff, the kids' stuff?
No problem. Just tell me what you're looking for, and I can talking to people. I can do that. That's easy.
Okay. And starts jotting
notice...
down notes on a script pad, like that I'll tell you the exact questions that Alex wants when you're ready.
You notice the waiter, Billy, I believe you said his name was, is kind of marching with this grumpy look on his face, like right past your table towards the front door, and you see him open it up, and he just kind of like shouts something at somebody, just like you can see through the windows. He's like waving his arms, like just doing a like get out of here kind of motion. He shouts something and like shuts the door behind him and just fucking kids, and heads back over towards the bar.
Sinner, as Billy sort of turns around, Sinner just kind of like, hey.
Yeah, hey, yeah. So, something else I can get you. You guys ready to settle up, or?
I could use a coffee, actually, now that we're full into this. But I just, it wasn't particularly subtle, part of me noting, but I couldn't help but notice the,
Oh, just some fucking kids. You know how they are. Just loitering out in front of the place and making a mess of things, you know.
Any kids in particular? I mean, it's a small town, right? So it's like the same kids all the time.
Kids, you know what they say, and he just looks dead at Romney. Boys will be boys. I'll get you that coffee.
Actually, if we could get a round of coffees in the check, that would be great. That kind of fun.
He walks off.
Sinner, takes the card that Billy wrote down on the platter, and sort of taps it on the table, and says, "Doc, if you have those questions written down, I'm just gonna step up for a minute, but I'll happy handle that when you got it all set up. We can just go straight through it. Okay?"
Yeah, I'm writing it down for you now.
Cool, no worries. And Sinner will kind of slide off the chair and kind of around and go sort of follow Billy to respectful like client distance of the door and the counter, just kind of like twirling that card in their hands again.
Okay. What's your play here? It might be too subtle for my tiny GM brain.
The play, Sinner's gonna try and figure out. Sinner wants to know more about what the fuck that was, and is using the fact that they're clearly into them for that.
Okay, so you're trying to get Billy's attention then, or you're trying to like peek out the door?
Oh no, like going up to Billy, because I seem like the
okay,
cleared off since, but yeah.
Billy's got a carafe and is in the back, like, is behind the bar, like, filling up 3 cups of coffee.
Yeah, so it just kind of like it comes up to the corner and just kind of like wraps on the wood and is like, hey.
Yeah, coffee takes a minute to pour.
Hey, no, you're good. I just look, I know, like, and Cinder sort of jerks a thumb over their shoulder at Rami. I know he can be a lot.
He's a prick.
Yeah, no, look, I wanted to apologize for we're having some really difficult stuff trying to work through from a business point right now, and it's got everyone's a little on edge, like stuff all over the table. You probably noticed, but I wanted to come over and say, hey, I'm sorry, for his behavior, and I wanted to, because like that.
You got nothing to apologize for.
Yeah,
I don't know why I'm automatically going to this voice. My apologies. It's
because that's your pleasant person voice.
It really is. I blame Mom.
he goes, but like, are you sure that's okay? Because I mean, like, look, and he sort of like looks over and kind of leans in and goes, look, I grew up around here. I know what kids can be like, and that seems like that's a pretty common occurrence. I snuck in here once a long time ago. Anyway, but point is,
Sure.
and I would like to, if
Oh,
possible, I think
sure.
that's I think that's an influence other kind of role kind of thing is what I'm looking at there.
Let's see.
Maybe.
When you influence an NPC through negotiation, argument, or from a position of power,
Oh, I
roll
guess
plus
maybe not.
charisma. Um, yeah, because you're not really
Yeah.
trying to get something like you're not trying to like say like I'll give you A if you give me B kind of situation, and you're not really like
Mm,
flexing on a
mm.
like tell me this or kind of situation. Um, this is weird because it's the closest it's to is like an act under pressure almost, but not really because the danger is
Yeah.
like Billy doesn't tell you anything. So Billy just kind of sidles up to you with the 3 cups of coffee and just leans in. It's just some asshole punks who come around here sometimes and they just like to get in people's faces and show the world how big and hard their dicks are. That's all it is.
I get it. Look, who are they? Maybe I know their parents, you know? Because, again, right? Generations
I
in
don't
small
know.
towns.
And it's as he starts to say, he starts to speak, you hear the sounds of a scuffle outside. And like a muffled shout. What do you do?
Sinner turns and goes, look, you want to take care of the coffees and I'll deal with that.
I don't want anybody getting hurt.
I mean, I don't
Least of
want
all
to,
you.
me neither, but I feel like you've got a lot. You've clearly got some stress going on, and if I can maybe make them fuck off, or you don't have to deal with it, like, it's no big problem for me.
Okay. Well, I always did trust a cute face and a cuter ass. So.
Compliments for both, thanks.
Billy's
And,
very lonely, all right.
look, it's the year. We after these 2 years, I get it. So I'm just kidding.
Okay.
My partner's in the chat.
But
So, so I think
yes,
for
he goes back to finishing pouring the coffee. What do you do?
So Sinner like kind of like grins and sort of like pulls the card off the counter and then turns around and kind of like sticks a hand up to the table. Probably, I feel like if anything tries to catch Romney's attention, because Romney seems the least currently like in something, and just kind of like I'm going going outside, and then he goes to the door.
So set my phone aside. You want me to come with you or just you?
Up to you. Take if you want to come and see, you can come and see. No worries.
Yeah, all right. And I'll actually like hop up with my phone still talking, just sort of casually following behind.
Alex, as you look up to observe this scene as it unfolds, you notice that Billy is visibly concerned about something, but still finishing off the coffee and bringing it towards the table. But you've been around Billy enough to know that Billy looks worried.
You okay, hon?
Just your friend's gonna go out there and I don't know. There's something going on outside. He said he'd take care of it. Sets down the coffee.
What's outside?
I don't know. There were just some angry voices. Probably some dipshit teenagers. I told him to leave alone.
All right. We're not ditching. You know me. Gets up,
Your money's no good here. Don't even worry about it.
Grabs messenger bag and turns and starts walking in that direction, keeping enough of a distance that, if necessary, might be able to. But hand is in the messenger bag, reaching for Kit.
For sure. First person out the door is Sinner. Sinner, as soon as you push through, it's obvious what you're hearing. In the alley next door, next to this place, there's another this bar, for want of a better word. This restaurant, this establishment is situated between two other businesses, and there's a laundromat over there just right next to it. And as you're kind of turning left, and you can hear the sounds of a fight, and someone crying out in pain as someone else cries out in hatred and like mocking laughter. You hear the clear faux tough voices of teenagers shouting, "Yeah, yeah, you like that, you dumb piece of shit? Yeah, why don't you get off the road, piece of shit?" From the alleyway. Sorry.
Okay.
I went for a teenager voice, completely flubbed it. My apologies.
No. It's okay. It's okay. It was the I know somebody who laughed like that when I was in high school. That lines up with this piece of shit. So it felt like you just channeled that motherfucker.
Yeah.
It was that plus the taste of like the highs and lows of high school football.
What do you do?
Sinner kind of like pops his head around the alley to see what the fuck is going on.
It looks so you see two guys, one spiky, like, short blonde hair. He's wearing like a Letterman jacket in blue and gold, the colors of the local high school. He's there with, there's a second kid, brown shaggy hair. The two of them are standing over as a third kid, this one in just a black tank top and jeans, is stomping the ever-loving crap out of what appears to be a pile of rags in human form. Just kicking the ever-loving shit out of what looks like a homeless man. Shouting about how, get off the street. What do you do?
Sinner kind of tilts his head and just goes, all right, well, town hasn't changed that much, clearly. And starts walking towards them. And when he's about a good like 20 feet away, it's just like, hey! Down the line.
Two of them, the two that are just like standing around laughing and enjoying it, you notice that they're both smoking as well as they kind of turn around.
Damn,
The kid
smoking teens.
the kid listen. The kid in the Letterman jacket jumps and looks kind of nervous, and like his eyes dart over to his other friend, whereas the one that's in the black tank top and just kicking the shit out of the homeless guy, he doesn't stop. He just shouts like, "That's what you get! Yeah, that's what you get!"
Hey, tank top!
At which point, Romney, you step through the door and hear Sinner shout, "Hey, tank top," from the nearby alleyway.
Oh, god damn it. Claire, call the cops for me. I'm a Fleminham.
Yeah.
Corner of Avenue and Street.
Totally. Or you could even just say that you're at, I wrote this down in my notes, at Madam's Mountain Palace.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We're over at Madam's Mountain Palace. It looks like there's
Done. Click.
Thanks.
That's my favorite character.
As tank top, as you put it, he kind of like stumbles a bit. "What's your fucking problem, man? Just keep walking. This doesn't concern you."
And I'd like to use my first advantage, is Sinner's voice kind of magnifies in the alley a little and just goes, "Piss the fuck off."
Okay. Unless you wish to spend some of your hope points, which you're welcome to do.
Mm-hmm.
Roll plus soul.
So, actually, it's a really good learning point. How did the hope points work again?
So, you can spend...
It's been a while since we've touched on them again.
Absolutely. At any time during for any time when you need to roll, Fox, you can spend 1 hope point to just buy an automatic partial success. We just treat it as a 10 to 14 result. I then take that hope point, stick it into the dread pool, and we go forward from there.
Gotcha.
3 points will grant you a full success. Just straight up off the bat, you get what you want. You can still do this after the roll, but there is a additional 1 point tax for doing so.
Okay.
To change the result of the roll.
Gotcha. I think. So what I think I'm going to do is, since soul is my best stat, and that's what I'm rolling, I'm gonna not do that, and I'm gonna save the hope points for if I get into a fight, which is my worst stat.
Yeah, I noticed that. I put all of your stats in a little matrix, and it was like -2, 0, -2. Huh.
Yeah, we're bad at fight.
Oh.
Yeah,
we're really bad at fight.
I know where that is now. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Doc.
Okay.
All right.
Scrappy Doc it is. All right.
Plus 4.
Hope you're good with that scalpel, Doc.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
I was gonna
17.
say, Singer is our heavy.
Yeah.
Yay.
Okay.
Put the medic up front with the saw. What is this?
Bone saw, but okay.
All right. On a 15 plus, the person or creature must obey your order unless doing so would cause them direct harm. You told him to piss the fuck off?
I told him to piss the fuck off.
Oh no.
He looks at you and says, "What's your fucking problem, man? Just keep moving, man. What the fuck? Man, what the fuck?" And he looks down at his pants. And there's a line of urine, like, running down his leg.
We've entered don't rest your head territory.
Yes.
Okay.
And
The monkey's paw has lost a finger. Great. I love this.
And the it's about as he's shouting the "What the fuck, man? What the fuck?" is when our good friend the doctor makes his way out, and Romney, of course, has gotten to the alleyway at this point. And Letterman Jacket and Levi's is what we'll call the other guy, because he's got very nice jeans on.
They're not tailored.
Letterman, yeah, not tailored. Nobody's quite that. Nobody would. Why would you tailor a pair of jeans? It's weird.
Someone tailored a pair of jeans. I resent that. Continue.
Letterman Jacket kind of like looks at like, "What the fuck, man? Are you pissing your pants? Hey, fucking pussy, what are you doing, man?" And she's just the tank top is freaking out, while the homeless guy on the ground kind of groans and rolls around. What do you do? Either of you.
Romney will shout, "Hey, you delinquent little fucks! The cops are on the way!"
Fucks.
Little fuck. Levi says, "You want to come over here and say that to my face again, boomer?" And he like walks over to you and flicks out a butterfly knife. At this point, Doc, you are there at the alleyway as well.
Doc sees knife?
Yeah, he's got there's a Jesus. He's 17 if he's a day. And he's like wearing a shitty, like a t-shirt of some shitty modern band. Fox is too horribly out of date to know music, unfortunately. And Levi's, and he's advancing on.
I mean, if he's trying to piss off his
Rodney.
parents in this town, he's almost certainly got like a rap artist.
There's some things. The second disadvantage, I don't think this is one of them, as Alex definitely remembers situations like this.
Yes. This does not trigger that off. No.
So
Good call keeping it in mind, but in this case, no. Because I know things.
immediately goes into queer survival mode. The K-bar that they have in their bag comes out.
Okay.
Romney, while doing his best to not look like a sad little bitch, will absolutely like kind of scoot behind the doctor.
Okay. There's a look on Alex's face that is one of resignation to the situation. It's not a pure look of steely resolve, but it is a look of practiced acceptance for the situation.
Okay.
And it's one of those like slightly bouncing foot to foot, hand just kind of rotating on the hilts on the handle of the blade.
Sure. Romney, I need you to roll to keep it together. I need you to roll plus willpower here.
Oh, yay.
Oh no.
Oh, no, I actually I have a positive number there. 11.
That's good.
11. Okay. So the effort to resist instills a condition, which remains until you have had time to recuperate. You get -1 in situations where this condition would be a hindrance to you. Choose one, and there is an expansive list of conditions for you to choose.
Yes.
Some of which also affect your stability, keep in mind.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Now,
No?
what does it mean for the? Oh no, that one doesn't. That one definitely doesn't apply. No, yeah. I mean, yeah. I would still take the -1 stability. I become scared.
You absolutely become scared. Fucking kids coming at you with a knife. Now the doctor's pulled out a knife as well.
Yeah.
A knife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a knife.
Yeah,
This is a knife.
If I'm
Yes.
able to back up even further, I am. I'm really like listening for those sirens.
So you're not hearing him yet. As Levi's makes his way up to the doctor, what's his name? Fucking Letterman jacket kind of comes over and like gets a hand on his shoulder. It's like, yo man, what the fuck? We gotta fucking do. It's like, nah, man, nah, this motherfucker. You want to start some shit? Yeah, we'll start some shit right here, man. Like his voice is trying not to crack.
I would like.
Do you want to go, bro? Do you want to go?
Stop it.
Alex is going to have a flash of genius in this moment, I think.
I do believe that applies. Let's see here. Genius, yeah. Whenever you find yourself in a life-threatening situation, roll plus soul. Go for it.
All right. This ain't bad. Oh, this is actually all right. All right, cool. I took an advantage in it. It should be.
You never know.
Sometimes they're about extra options.
Sometimes you got points you can spend, you know.
13 on the dice. +2.
15. Choose up to 3 edges usable anytime in this scene while you are still in danger. So.
I'll take one of each.
Yeah. Sure. Okay. So yeah, you can use any of those at any time. You are still in danger, but you size this kid up, and again, you recognize that he's 17 if he's a day. Like this kid's maybe like 110 pounds, soaking wet. What do you do?
Take 3 very measured steps forward. You kids know that a lot of bad stuff's happened in this town lately. And we don't need anything adding to that. Right? So, I want you to think about how this is going to read. 3 teenagers jumping a homeless man and his friend outside their favorite gay bar. Think about how that's going to read and how this plays out. However it plays out.
There's a seething anger behind the eyes of Levi's as he tries to bring the knife up, as his friend like grabs him like by the shoulder of his shirt and just pulls him away, wrenching him to the side. Come on, man, it's not fucking worth. Let's just fucking go, man. Like pulls him away, and Levi's just he's like, as he's getting pulled away, he's like keeping his eyes locked on you the whole time as they get to the other end of the alley. The 3 of them then just like get up and not scamper is a bad word. They just off into the distance, just running fucking pell-mell out of
That's
there.
right, bitch, run! I say as I'm like bouncing against Singer's back.
As soon as they're out of sight, the knife hits the ground, the hand goes back into the bag, and the first aid kit is coming out to check up on the guy that's on the ground.
Yeah, Sinner when they left moved over to the talk to look to check on the guy, but seeing Doc come over with a bag is like, all right, not my area of expertise. This is what you're here for. Backs up.
You move over to that area, your bag in hand, checking on the guy as he's kind of like moaning and rolling on the ground, and he looks up at you, Alex, or Sinner. Like he looks up in that general direction, and he's reaching his hand past in between the 2 of you, up as the rain kind of starts to pick up a little bit, and we get his POV shot up as this rain kind of comes beating down into this alleyway. These wonderfully dark Washington clouds, slicking the sides of the brick facing of the buildings, and he seems to be like smiling at someone past you and says, "Do you see her? Do you see her? Do you see her?"
It's okay checking for like checking the eyes, checking for head injuries or anything like that, because that sounds like head injury territory right
Sinner
there.
turns to look.
Alex is focused in on their new patient. Romney is just happy that things have ended. Until he just gets this little twinge in his left eye as Sinner turns to look, and you swear for a moment there's a form or a hand or something in the cloud reaching down at the man. And then it's gone. And the man smiles real big, and the hand that was reaching up towards the sky clasps onto Alex's shoulder, pulls them close in. "She saw me! She saw me!" As he lays back, his breathing labored, but steady, as the camera, now a reverse angle, slowly pulls away from that alleyway. and we end tonight's session.
Yay.
Fuck.
Thank you. No, my name is Fox, and thank.
That's, yeah.
No witch, a spooky witch comes
Yes.
flying in.
We're gonna fight you.
Thank you so much, everyone, for catching us here.
I just need to say that before we leave that diner, I go in, I settle up, I tip 100% of the bill.
No question. Yes, absolutely. No, that homeless man in the alleyway does not die. The bill gets paid. But I do have to say that without question, my favorite moment of the night hasn't happened yet.
Gonna do this to yourself.
I'm allowed. It's my shtick.
Go on.
At the we come back up to the crashing of waves, and the front of a sign set in stone, carved and chiseled into it. It's very new. It's beautiful. It's polished, and it reads Devonsport Aquarium. There's a beautiful like wave sculpture on top of it, like crashing waves, swirling up in various blues and aquas. And we push past that towards police tape that has been set across the front entrance of it, and into the building. And as we're moving through, it's just an empty lobby with an empty desk. The lights are all off, and the hallways look fine until we see a single bullet hole along the wall, and then two more. There's a red stain along the floor that starts as drops and then becomes just this matted. It's not a sea because it's not fluid anymore. It's dried. It's like paint caked onto the floor that starts off as smears and then becomes a puddle and then becomes a pool as we turn from one exhibit to another. Shattered glass joining in with plaster, and the holes continuing to multiply as we eventually turn a corner. And as we're going, we just hear this awful. I wonder if I can get the mic to pick this up. This awful like scrubba noises as we get in there, and as our camera gets to this archway that says, the shattered remnants of a sign that say "Great White Shark Exhibit," and it turns, and we see a room with a glass wall completely shattered, and we see someone in a yellow jumpsuit with a hood pulled up at the floor, and they turn back to look at us at the camera, and that is when we cut. But folks, for tonight, we are out of here. We'll catch you next week. I have been Fox. With me, from the wonderful world of corporate America.
Hi, I'm Zed.
From the down-home twangy strings of independent music.
Ramasa.
And from the blood-soaked hands of an operating room.
Conry.
We'll catch you folks next time. And remember, as always, please stay evil. Night, folks.